Players at the ready. Are you ready? Are you ready? On my release.
Tonight, I'll be eating roasted cauliflower tacos with spicy chipotle sauce. Thank you. Oh! I wasn't ready!
You want cheese to go with that wine?
Okay.
All right, well, it looks like we're starting. Hello, everybody. It's gonna be...
Yeah, welcome to America. It's basically Idaho Air Hockey. It's the American Air Hockey League. This is the best air hockey you're gonna see in Idaho.
Heck yeah.
Tonight we've got Nathan Buss versus Peter Cai, aka Spec. We see right now Nathan warming up right there, doing a little reverse circle drift exercise, get the arm loosened up. You know, Nathan, you can't say enough about what he's done, obviously, for the community, but, you know, he's dominated Idaho for the last 2 straight years.
Yeah, no, he's been...
being the best player.
He's been at the top.
Yeah, being the best player, and, yeah.
Yeah,
and,
I remember the first Idaho tournament we did. Yeah, no, he came out on top. Like, it wasn't even close. He was the best.
Well, he's got a true challenger right now with Spec, who just joined us there on the bottom of your screen, or the left side of your screen now. Spec actually just recently beat Nathan 2 times in a row, and Nathan is feeling it. He's feeling the pressure. He's feeling the excitement. It's kind of a fun thing to experience. It's a weird thing. I mean, nobody wants to lose, but when you have won for so much, or been so dominant, it's actually kind of exciting when somebody, actually starts beating you.
So you start getting challenged, and I don't know about you, but one of my favorite things is facing a challenge.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
yeah, trust me, I know.
I enjoy challenging myself, and this is one of the best ways to do it, because you have so many people that are better than you by various degrees, so there's always somebody who you can go after, challenge yourself, get to the next level. All
right,
looks like we're starting.
Yep, about to face off, and here we go. This is best of 3 sets. Each set's the best of 7 games.
Nate with the first possession.
Starts off with a attempt to the right wall under. A lot of adrenaline here, so a little bit of a sloppy play there to start off, but we'll see if Nathan does a good thing there, slows it down a little, and speeds it right back up.
I think Nate, I think you're right. Nate's going to be feeling a little bit of the jitters, but so I think he's going to be able to. Yeah, I think here, yep, there's.
Right wall over by Nathan there. Good shot. Go take the first score there. Beck going right back to a cut straight. Nathan did a good job of staying there to get that. Another cut straight. I actually like what Speck's doing there, though. He's trying to establish a shot, and that may not look like, hey, he's doing the same thing, and Nathan's all over it. But he's trying to establish a shot early.
Yeah.
And by doing that, you can start dictating, your offense, and really put your a good interference there by Nathan. Now it's up 2-0.
2-0, yeah. Ooh.
Nice cross straight.
And then
beautiful shot.
Spec with the coming back at him.
Yeah. Good block there on the right wall. Over attempt.
Did
Good
he
block
was he
by
going
Nathan.
for a cross there, or our shot of the week?
Yeah, it
the
looked like
cut?
he went back again for cross straight. It was a little off the mark, but Nathan was in the right position. Then he went back to the cut straight. But again, I like the fact he hasn't hit a single bank yet. Still going to try to establish his straight game.
Yeah. Nathan. Oh.
Nice right wall over by Nathan.
Oh, and Spec
There's
brings
the
it right
bank.
back at him.
Nathan was absolutely frozen, which is not a good sign for his defense this early.
No.
But he does hold lead.
Ooh.
That was a nice shot by Nathan there, kind of a
Yeah.
out of the silver drift. Hit a left wall bank from a little bit more on the center of the table. Hard shot to execute, and he hit it pretty well. Good
Very.
block, good get
Yeah.
by Spec.
Oh. Oh, and there's Nate again.
Yep. So that's one of Nathan's strong points, and that's how he gets a lot of his success. He kind of like little hustle shots, I like to call them, in transition. Before a defense has a chance to get set, he attacks. And he scored probably quite a few on Spec that way. And there's a beautiful cross straight there by Spec.
Yep.
He just needs to keep that in
tying
his
him up.
pocket.
So,
Yep.
yeah,
Good
4-4 now. Right wall under, I think.
Yeah. It looked like
Well,
a little
attempted.
indecisiveness there by Nathan.
Ooh, Spec coming up to meet him. There's.
Yep. That was the right wall under that he knew he was going to hit. So he hit it with authority, and that one went in.
Ooh.
Good block by Nathan, getting back on that bank attempt. And there's the
And
cut
there's
straight.
Spec with him. Yep.
5-5. Good first game here so far.
It's. We're racing.
Another right wall over by Nathan. That seems like that's
I would
his
say
shot.
That's a strong shot for Nathan. And there,
Went right back to it.
Yeah.
Nope, Spec couldn't hold on to that.
it's sometimes you lose them. Oh.
Oh, and a charge. Yep. To take game 1, 7-5. Little gutsy charge, but it looked like, Nathan is taking advantage of Spec basically not bringing that puck back and setting up his offense, instead just kind of trying to hit a little quick shot. You gotta corral that shot after you block it, set up your offense, and then make your attack.
Yeah.
And I think Nathan was able to take advantage of that. He got probably 3-4 points, it seems like, where Spec was not set defensively. So, I mean, you got to like what you see from Spec. But, Nathan's the kind of player, he gets on fire and he just kind of gets on a roll. He's hard to corral. So,
Yeah.
Spec has to make sure he does not kind of let this get out of hand.
Yeah. No, Nathan can. I say once Nathan gets into that zone where he's just scoring and scoring, it's hard to get him out of it. But I think with the recent history between Spec and Nathan,
Happy birthday, Jaden.
Happy birthday. I think Spec will be able to pull Nathan out of that zone.
Yeah, and the way to do that is by playing a controlled offense, a controlled attack, taking your time, especially on a player that kind of feeds off that speed, a player that feeds off of, the constant flowing of the puck. Slow it down. Actually stop it on your drift. Makes a huge difference. Take more time, not just in your possessions, but take more time on your shot releases. All that can affect, another player. So it looks like they're going to face off every game.
Yep.
Which is a really cool thing.
Yeah, that's so. I would say when I first started playing, it was face off at the beginning, and it is face off every match.
Yes.
But when I came back, Nathan had changed it up. He's doing face off every game.
Yeah.
So that was
That is, we got to credit North Carolina. The North Carolina community kind of came up with that. So
Ooh.
beautiful cut straight by Spec to start off game 2. But yeah, the North Carolina community actually kind of brought that into the sport, and they were doing that for the North Carolina State. I actually went to that one. It might have been the last.
Ooh, talk off the
It was
table.
the last tournament I ever played. But you know, I think all of us that went to it, we loved it. You know, it was so much fun. Another cut straight by Spec. 2 very strong shots to start off game 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I was hearing a little bit about the North Carolina air hockey community today before stream, and it sounds super interesting.
Yeah, great bunch of guys. Great chemistry with all of them. That little unforced error by Spec. He's got to hold on to that. Nathan did interfere with that just a little bit, but there's that cut straight. That's 3 in a row now. Yeah, but can't say enough. A nice block there by on the right wonder attempt.
Yeah.
Spec. And he would try to go right back to the cross straight. Very nice. Good job by Spec
and he
there.
succeeded in that one.
4-2. So Spec just needs to keep doing those things right there. Just cut, cross, make Nathan block them.
Yeah.
So that was a good cut by Nathan. So Nathan charged him, and if that's his only answer for blocking the straight shots, then that's a recipe for disaster long term. I mean, you may have some success.
Oh, dang.
Yep. Good turn of events there for Nathan. Yeah, so that one, that shot there that Spec hit was not nearly with the same release and authority he's been using previously, and Nathan was all over it.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, Nathan's really getting into it. He really wants this. He was telling us Spec has a really good shot, but he's not gonna give up. He's gonna make Spec really work for this. And
nice
there we go.
Over by Nathan.
Oh.
So that bank there was a great release by Spec, holding it and doing the right thing there.
Ooh.
Able to get by the defense, but he's got to corral that kind of stuff there.
Yeah.
You got to get those pucks. You can't let that go back to Nathan. You're giving that man more possessions. I mean, you know, the law of averages is eventually going to catch up with you. That was a good defense there by Spec.
Yes, it really was. Oh.
Beautiful.
Oh, there's
now,
6-6
that's
now.
exactly. Yep, it's exactly what I'm talking about. Where you're charging too much, you can live and die by that.
Oh, and there we go.
Get that. Yep, looks like he got that bank to go in. It's hard to tell. Yeah, he did. All right, 7-6. Another big game there by Nathan to go up 2-0.
Yeah, that was just super. That was exciting.
Yeah, very good. So, you know, right there is a great example. So, you know, of Spec can see what he needs to do. I think, you know, he hits 2-3 cuts in a row, goes back to the cross straight, and then Nathan starts charging him, and they kind of gets Nathan back into the game just enough. It kind of made Spec second guess things, and I think that's probably the inexperience of Spec. Instead of just keep coming with the straights and just changing and varying the release, he ended up, you know, kind of becoming very predictable in his bank, and ended up kind of, you know, not giving that game away, but he let Nathan back in it instead of staying on top of him.
Yeah.
So, you know, you just got to be ready for those charges. You know, expect them to charge every time. And if you do that, then he's actually just giving you the puck back. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, 2 games so far, and both games have been very good. You know, I expect Spec to still make a set out of this because both these games have been very close. You know, I think it would go to obviously Nathan's advantage if he can put Spec away and stay on top of him.
Yeah. No, I think.
I mean, aside from the obvious reasons of being up, you know, 2-0, and then you win the next 2, you're 1-0, which you're 1 set away. But I think the mental portion is really what I'm referring to because, you know, the fact that Nathan has been on top for so long in Idaho. You know, you just start feeling all that weight of like, oh my God, here we go again. I mean, this guy's still freaking beating me, you know, in these big moments. What do I need to do to kind of get over the hump, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no,
well,
Nathan's-
hopefully, Spec doesn't fall for that.
No, hopefully. I think Spec's really gonna. I think Spec's really gonna slow this game down, and then. But no, I think Spec. He really wants this. Like you can tell, he really wants this, but Nate doesn't want to give it to him. Nate does not want to give it to him. So this is gonna be a really fun, exciting. Oh, and he loses it.
Error there by Nathan.
Yep. Oh.
So that one was a little bit better cut, the actual shot itself. However, he's got to hold that release a little long.
Yeah. Like, oh.
There's the cross straight, and it's open massively. It's open big time.
Ooh.
It's just a matter of executing.
Yeah.
Better defense there by Nathan. He actually stayed out, more disciplined.
Yep. There it was again. He went to go.
Unforced error by Nathan. Again, down 2-0 in this game. He was this way the last game too, and he came back. So let's see what happens.
Yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah. Before Spec got that second point, you could see Nathan went to go hit it, and he stopped himself. He controlled I think he realizes that, this obviously isn't going to be an easy game for him, and him stopping, holding himself back. That's how you can tell he really wants this, because Nate probably could have just absolutely sent it just as hard as he could, and he didn't.
Nice little forehand left ball under there to get by Spec's defense.
Yeah.
Now 3-2.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's no doubts. I mean, Nathan's not ready to relinquish the
Oh,
throne,
we're
right?
throwing mallets.
Yeah, lost him out. Yeah, lost him out there. So possession goes to Nathan.
Nathan going immediately for the. Ooh.
Good
This is
defense there by Spec.
Uh-huh.
So it looks like Nathan's kind of, being a lot more disciplined, staying out more for those straights, which is what you should do.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if that continues, or we'll see if Spec can, hold that release and vary the release so we can start banking around him if necessary.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's... Sorry, I'm really trying to watch the game here, and for some reason, I can't talk and watch.
Straight. Yeah, cross straight by Spec, well hit.
That was a very good hit.
Release is the big difference, right? So if you can disguise the release enough and kind of freeze the defense and kind of have them just guessing, not sure what's coming next, that's what gives an offense the advantage.
Mm-hmm.
The drift gives the offense the advantage only concerning the position, right? So
yeah, where it's going to be.
Will open up a lane. Another unforced error by Nathan there. Down 5-2.
This one's not looking great for Nathan right now. Oh, that was a very good block from Spec right there.
There's the bank around him, 6-2.
Ooh.
So, again, it doesn't have to be a very difficult shot to hit, right? As long as he's charging, it doesn't even have to be accurate. You just bank around him.
Yeah.
It's all about the release.
Yes.
Good shot there by Nathan. Spec was not set properly defensively. He left that lane open.
Oh, and there it
is. So 7-3 now. A bit of a, I think that's the kind of game that Spec needs. It's to help build that confidence, because I think that's really all he needs to kind of overcome Nathan. Really, just watching these first 3 games, he's got to have that confidence that, I can do this. There's no reason I can't dethrone this guy. I know he's amazing. I know he's been kicking all of our butts for years now, but it's my turn. It's my time. Why not me, right? You've heard all those, sayings, and it's all true. And, you just have to believe that you really, really can do it, and then just go out and do it. Don't Don't think about anything but what you have to do on each and every possession. And, you know, once you do that, the sky's the limit. So, and it starts in a game like that where, you know, you win a very convincing, you know, 7-3 game. You know, it's not something that is, you know, where you just squeak by or you won on an unforced error by your opponent or something along those lines. I mean, it was a well thought out game. I mean, he's using, you know, proper strategy, you know, mainly cuts and crosses and then banking around Nathan when he's charging.
Yeah, no, that's Spec's. I think Spec is really picking up what Nathan's doing here, because we saw in the first, it was either first or second, or probably both, that, you know, Nathan was hitting a lot of right wall unders. You know, he was making almost every single one of them. And Nathan had to change it up a little bit, because I think Spec was really picking up on it and learning to, you know, adapting to the game really quick. So, Nathan started running into trouble.
Yeah, again, you know, Nathan did have a few unforced errors, but Spec again got off to another good start, and he was able to finish it this time. So now we find ourselves 2-1 Nathan. We'll see if nice face-off.
That was players. Spec with the first point.
That one was not accurate at all. Actually, in the middle of the goal, but Nathan, again, I'm not sure what he was thinking, if like he was indecisive if he was going to charge or not. So here we are again, third game in a row now, where Spec is up 2-0. Now, the first time this happened, Nathan still took care of business. So we'll see what happens this time.
I think those starts are starting to frustrate Nathan. Because, I mean, we were talking about early, he's used to being, you know, top of the heap, king of the hill, all that stuff. So, you know, starting out these last 3 games, you know, down 2.
Good
really
cut
starting
straight by Nathan.
Yeah, it's really, I feel like it's really kind of starting to frustrate him a little bit.
Yeah.
I would say Vi has commented, Nathan's getting serious now wearing the headband. Yes, he is. Once the headband breaks out, he's starting to, he's really getting serious now.
Yeah, no different than, you know, other sports. You know, whether it's a certain kind of tennis racket or certain kind of pool stick, you know, just different things. You know, just certain bat, you know, players will pull out in baseball. No different. I mean, we're all a little quirky in our habits and whatnot. Yeah. But Nathan has now tied this game 2-2. There's that cross straight by
Spec. Just untied it.
Yep, very well timed cross straight. But I like the pace that Nathan's playing with. I think long term this is better for him. You know, not to play super fast and just try to speed past Spec on every time. I think he's going to develop a lot, you know, I guess a lot quicker in his game. Not just for Idaho, but just overall.
Yeah.
Oh, that was another good cross straight by Spec.
That was. Ooh. Oh, and Nathan.
Got Spec to flinch there just enough and snuck that cut straight. And another kind of hustle, hot shot, another cut straight. Now it's tied 4-4.
Oh, pucks are flying.
Yeah. That one flew there on Spec. He's wanted to really power that right wall bank, but a little too much there.
Yeah, backfired on him a little bit. But it's okay. Yep. Nathan's really slowing his game down. Oh.
Good job by both players there. Up.
And
so again, he's kind of got Nathan in this off-balance position there, just for that. And when he's not blocking anything, where his mallet actually goes. If you watch his body and watch where the mallet goes, I mean, he's blocking the game. That was a huge point now to go up 6-4.
Oh, we've got more flying pucks.
Great block by Spec there. Got just enough of that cut straight. I thought it was a pretty good shot. Very accurate. Spec was there to block it.
just a little bit too much power behind it and came off the table. There's his right wall under. The Spec's starting to be ready for it now.
Yep. Both players are getting more comfortable with each other as to what they're trying to bring. We'll see if Nathan can hold back from charging.
So he's doing, I would say so far. Oh, he wanted to. You see he flinched. He really wanted to charge it, but
yeah. So one mistake that a lot of players make when they're charging, they want to do a fake charge or something.
Mm-hmm.
They're bringing their mallet actually, and they're moving it way out of position. You can fake charge just with the body, but actually not move your mallet where you're out of position. That was a great cut straight by Spec to win that game 7-4. We are now tied 2 games apiece. After Nathan wins the first 2, Spec is really pretty dominantly, 7-3. I think this one was 7-4, or is it 7-3? So two very strong games in a row by Spec. Really taking back control of this set. So it's now 2-2, and Nathan's got to be feeling the pressure. He's got to, he's been the man, and he's getting pushed, and that's all you can ask for.
Yeah.
In this sport, because the best air hockey happens when both players are both playing well, and both of them are pushing each other. So I think that's happening right here with these guys.
Yeah, no, they're doing super well today. We're going into the new or final game of our set.
Yeah, going into the 5th game, this now becomes a best of 3, right? First player that can get 2 games here is going to take this first set. And this first set is pretty huge because, you can only lose 2 of these for this match, and this is to take the other man's gold, right? So in air hockey we have ranks, we have we have titles, but we have ranks, and everybody has a rank, and you can challenge somebody, anybody in the sport. Like somebody can challenge our great champion Colin Cummings. Anybody can in the world. Just got to go to Hawaii to play him.
Yeah.
But,
is he out in Hawaii?
That's where he lives currently. Yes.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So if you want to go visit Hawaii, that's you look up Colin Cummings, and he will be most gracious and play a challenge match, and probably 16 games later, and that's probably no matter who plays him. He's playing so good. He barely lost a couple games in this World Championship. He's playing at such an amazing level. All right, another face-off here.
And Spec gets possession on this one.
Goes right back to the cut straight. So no surprise. Nathan does corral it. Yep, ends up scoring. So this is the first time in 3 games that Nathan's actually been on top first. And that, I know Spec was trying to kind of surprise him, but I don't think that's the right decision by him. I don't think he needs to try kind of quick forehand shots. If anything, that works to Nathan's advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nathan's the kind of player, again, who feeds off of that, so you speed things up, man. That's his forte. He loves it. So now 2-0 Nathan. Went for that cross straight. It was there. You just barely missed it there, in and out. We'll see if Spec can kind of recover and try to make a comeback here. Got to start playing defense right here, though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was a good block. Yep. So again, that release, he should have held it a little bit longer, and you could see that Nathan was, basically committing to that charge.
Nathan's really slowing it down.
Yeah, I tried a little reverse circle drift, kind of right wall over, like kind of medium speed. Not a bad shot, but it has to be accurate, otherwise it just won't work.
Yeah.
Nope. Spec was able to bank under Nathan there. And not a bad shot. I mean, if he held the release, he probably would have had Nathan frozen, but he didn't necessarily hold that release long enough, but he was able to get it by Nathan.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, that was a
Good strong level
good. That was a
under.
quick one. We're
Good
starting
block
to.
by Nathan.
Yes. So they're both playing pretty decent defense today. Nathan, so oh.
Another right bank there, taking a commanding that 4-1 or 5, yeah, 4-1 lead now for Nathan. Yeah, Speck's got to kind of take a minute here. Next possession he gets, slow this thing back down. I think.
Yeah,
Don't rush
I think
this shot.
they're
Good straight.
both realizing. Oh, I don't.
Over the line. Nathan called himself on that. It was close. You know, yeah, Nathan is conceding that point. It was close. It was hard to tell. It was kind of a bang play, but you know, the players and the referee know a lot more than we do.
Yeah.
Especially me from, you know, a couple thousand miles away.
Yeah, right. This is a
Nice,
little
hard
embarrassing.
right
I don't
ball.
remember. Are we doing? I was told. I just don't remember. Are we doing best out of?
So it's best of 7 each set, and it's best of 5. I'm sorry, best of 3 sets.
Okay,
So
so
in other
whoever.
words-
Okay, so whoever wins this next game wins the set.
Well, not necessarily. No. It's best of 7 each set.
Oh, okay. So 4 games. We're going.
Both players have to win 2 more games.
Okay.
the next
Okay.
set.
I was told that. I just kind of have a little bit of bad memory. So.
It's all right. Trust me, when you get my age, it gets a lot worse. All right.
Oh, Nathan's really taking his time. He's. I think. Oh.
Yep. Good little release there. Now game point 3 for Nathan. You know, this is a big game here for Nathan. I think he needs to kind of make a statement to try to get back in the head of Speck just a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, it's really a matter of nice cut straight. I mean,
That was.
it's a matter of Speck not letting that stuff get to him mentally and just, you know what, no, I'm going to set this up and do it correct. Good shot there from Nathan to finish off that game. You know, 7-4, strong game for Nathan. He's up 3 games to 2 now in the first set here. You know, with everything on the line. You know, Nathan currently is number 1 in Idaho. He's number 32 in the world. You know, Peter Cai, he's number 67 in the world and number 3 in Idaho. So
Yeah. These are 2 very strong players for sure.
yeah, no doubts. So yeah, these guys are definitely battling. Loving the fact that you know, it doesn't seem like there's any quit in Nathan. I mean, he could have easily hung it up right there, but he's showing that he is a champion. You know, he's been on top for the last 2 years, and he's not ready to give that up yet. So
No? Yeah, no, he's working really hard right now to keep his spot, which is good. That's what we want to see. You know, we can't have
Right.
Nathan throwing the game. That's
no,
he would
no.
never. He would never. He's too much of a.
No, you have to play with honor. You have to play with dignity. You know, it's no different than our world champion Colin. I mean, Colin, he's been doing this now, winning. He just won his 12th, you know, world championship.
Oh, geez.
And you know, he you know, I know mentally, to some degree, it's probably it just weighs on you because, you know, it's the only thing he can do is lose. I mean, he can win all he wants and no big deal.
No.
Nobody's going to think twice about it because he's supposed to.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
so he kind of looks forward to losing in a weird way, but at the same time he has to make that person earn it because the next player has to be, you know, better than him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm trying to find a way to describe this, but like, there's a certain like honor and like I guess, responsibility that comes with being number one.
Yes.
And sometimes it can get a little heavy, you know, like you're constantly under all this pressure. So I can see, you know, like number ones, they want to, you know, they want to lose. They want somebody else, you know, just to take the pressure off a little bit, you know, like, and almost like, I feel like when you've been number one for so long, you've been like put on like this impossible to reach pedestal that just.
Right. Well, what happens is, you know, it's hard to play just for fun because you're just trying to play for fun, but every time you get on the table, everybody watches you, and every little shot. So like somebody scores on you, you're not even really playing hard, and you hear, oh my God, you just see that person scored on, you know, Colin Cummings, and it's just like, okay. Another face off here now to start game 6. Nathan with the puck.
Yep, we're starting out. Ooh, that was a quick one.
It was quick. It wasn't accurate. It was actually right in the middle of the goal. You know, Speck basically was right in the middle. Got him with that cut straight. The releases is what did well there.
So that one's really getting Nathan today.
Yeah, you know, again, it's. I think he found something. He found how to get by that defense that Nathan has, and kind of put a little pressure on him. You know, what Speck has to learn is how to keep that pressure on somebody, even when they start charging. You know.
Yeah.
That was a tough shot that he just tried there. The left wall bank from Nathan. Pretty well defended by Speck though. And Speck has got to maintain a strong level of defense and just, you know, stay on top because he can't let Nathan just get on a roll. I mean, with stuff like that.
Yeah, you can't.
You know.
Because once Nathan gets in that role, nothing else matters to him. It feels like, you know, like, I mean, he's obviously going to be aware of what's going on, but like, you know, once he gets into that, that was rough. Just kind of crawl right in there.
You have to finish a block defensively. That was a great get by Nathan just now. When I say finish a block, I mean you have to block it, but you also have to make sure that you hold on to it and retain that possession. So now 3-1 by Nathan here, and a possible set game for him.
Yeah,
big moment. He's feeling it too because he knows that Speck has a bit of a program that works on him. So another good get there by Nathan. So he's doing everything he can to really stay on top of the, you know, with a lead here and keep the pressure on Speck. Yep, Speck's got to slow it down there, get control of that puck and hit a good shot like that. Nice crawl straight by Speck. 3-2 now.
Oh, and Nate immediately coming back at him.
Yep, hard right wall under. Got by unforced error by Speck. That was not a good time for that. He's now down 5-2. Nathan is 1 point away from a set point,
which would not be good. Which would not be good for Speck.
By Speck, rarely seen, especially playing against Nathan. So good job by Speck on that. Good hustle.
And we're down to set point
3. Got to take a little more time there. Now his defense has got to get him back into this. Forehand left wall banked there by Nathan.
I think I heard that, you know, jump. There it is.
Left ball over in that set. He's now up 1 set to 0. You know, our number 1 player out of Idaho is not ready to give that up. So this is going to be a huge deal. So one of the things you probably, you know, want to kind of stress with those guys, I know you're going to go talk to them, you know, for Speck, it's like, look, you know, he needs to corral himself to some degree and don't let him, you know, don't let this get into his own head, you know, understand and trust the program that he's developed. And to stay with it. So you stay with those straights and stay with, you know, banking around Nathan. You know, as for Nathan, I think he did exactly what he needed to do, you know, to win that set, obviously, because he won it.
Yeah.
But I would say for him, Nathan needs to really kind of cleaned up his defense a little bit. You know, when he's doing those charges, or, you know, where he's a little in that indecisive part, he's actually putting his mallet in a really bad spot, which opens up a lot of the goal. But yeah, so like I said, it's we'll have to see what happens here. You know, we hope that Spec, you know, doesn't let this, you know, get the better of him mentally, and then that way, you know, he can make a match out of this. So okay, I guess they're probably about to call you over to the couch now.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, we're gonna head on over to the couch. So, do you want me to ask any questions while I'm out there? Can you think of any right now?
No, if you can ask whatever you like. I mean, it's like I said, for the most part, those guys, you know, like I said, Spec's just got to, for me, Spec's got to maintain, you know, his composure. That's probably a big part for what he needs right now.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna head on out there, and if you do have any questions, you always have the YouTube chat that we'll see. So.
Yep. Okay. Right. Sounds good. Thanks, Kai.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. I took 3 games. Wow. So very happy about it. Yeah, and so it's fun to see kind of that your own improvement as well in getting more points. Alright.
We just gotta wait for Spec. Yeah. You guys can jump right in right now if you want to.
How you feeling?
I'm so tired.
So tired? You don't
So
look like
tired.
it. Dude, you watching you jump across the table and stuff like that, you would never guess.
It takes a weird amount of energy to focus on what shot he's gonna do next, and know that he 100% has my button. He knows exactly the shot to use, and so now it's whether or not he's gonna do that stinking cut that's gonna get me, or is he gonna shake it up once in a while and do the right wall under. And so it's like he had me just like sacrificing everything else. You'll notice one of the times I just planted there, and I'm like, I don't care if he does it under, and he does it under, and I'm like, don't care. Like I don't care. At least I would have blocked the straight, right? But it takes so much energy focusing on that. It's like you're playing chess 5 moves ahead, and so you're wondering what they're going to be doing, what you should be doing. If he does hit this shot, where do I need to be? I don't know if you saw some of those shots where we would hit it and the other person would immediately fire back without even barely touching it, just a slight redirect. And so it's so tiring. It's mentally exhausting. It seems like I'm making this up, but it's so hard when you're like, okay, this point matters. This is a 6-6. What shot is he going to do? And if he does that shot, I need to be here. But what if he does this other shot? Oh no. And now it's this whole, okay, I have to read his wrist. I have to read where the puck is at. And he's playing so dang good. He watched me at Worlds lose 3 different matches to that one shot, and now he started using that shot. so he knows my Achilles heel, and I'm glad, because either I'm going to lose and learn from it, right, or I'm going to learn to block it sooner than later. I would really love to learn to block it a lot sooner than later, but I'm having a hard time blocking that shot, and his shots are just pinpoint accurate.
And the amount of stress and accuracy that's kind of going into this. For those who are unaware, there is a lot of stakes, because not only are these two competing currently for a state rank, but they're also competing for a world rank. Do you mind sharing what your world rank is real quick?
Oh man, so I finished 32. I had the opportunity to finish in 24, and I lost 3 games in a row, just to that same shot, over and over and over again.
How about you?
Yeah.
Spec, what rank are you?
67.
67, alright. So there is definitely like a huge number of stakes right here. So, I am filling in currently for Danny Hines. Danny, you're doing a fantastic job. We appreciate you so much. It's just for technical reasons I'm going to be sitting in right now. This is an opportunity for anybody who is currently watching on stream. If you have any questions that you would like to ask, now would be the time. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. So, how are you feeling about the whole match so far, Spec?
It's going as I expected it. It's very hard. It's very grueling.
Yeah. Now, for people who haven't been able to watch in person, as a lot of us have, these two have competed a number of times already in the past. A couple of challenge matches, of course. But surprisingly, the turnabout, Spec has won the last number of them, as well as winning the local tournament that they have at the scene here at an arcade here in Idaho. So that begs the question, is Nathan the underdog here, or Spec the underdog?
According to all the stats, Spec's the underdog, but according to the recent gameplays and him just knowing right where my jugular is and stepping right on it, it's hard to say. because we played some challenge matches recently that were just unranked, you know, just challenge sets that weren't for rank. They still counted for, you know, rank rating points, but not for rank. And he dominated me on those. There was even a game, I mean, he 7-2'd me in one game, 7-1 me in another. I mean, today what was one of the games, 7-3. I barely got to 3 points in one game. And so when I'm winning, like that very last game, I was up 7 to 3 or 7 to 4 in there. It doesn't matter because he could come back and destroy me and not let me get any more points. But historically, I've beaten him for the last year or so, right? I've been the big dog here because I started it here, and I got to go to Texas way before these guys got to, so I got some pro training. We flew a guy out here to train us, and he stayed here at the house and stayed up till 2 in the morning.
Oh my god.
Showing me stuff, and I'm like, Doug, it's time to go to bed. His name is Doug Howard. I'm like, it's time. I cannot comprehend anymore. And he's like, no, one more thing. He's got the whiteboard out. He's like, no, you gotta understand this. And I'm like, I can't anymore. And so I got a lot more training. And so for Spec to have way less of that experience time and be crushing me this bad, I mean, there's a difference between 30 ranks for the world, and he is, I mean, he up until just now, this is the first set I've beaten him in forever because he's crushing me. So he could right now take this from me, which would be a really good thing for Idaho. He would have a huge target on his back. People would fly out here just to beat him. So like secretly deep down, I want him to win this, but I also will never give up without a fight.
Of course.
So that's kind of where I'm at.
Now, we actually have a little bit of a spectacle going on here as well. We have a lot of people watching live here in the crowd, so if you guys hear any noise, that's probably us just getting hyped up, jumping out of our chairs. Like,
I would say me and Danny can hear from the commentary booth.
Yeah, it's,
we can hear all the frustrated grunts from the gentleman playing, and the claps and the cheers from our people in the audience that are here.
Yeah, so watching it in real life, if anybody who is currently watching on stream has never watched an air hockey game, like a pro league game or anything like that in person, I would highly recommend it. Just the level of energy in the room, not only between the two competitors, but between everybody watching. You could cut the tension with a knife if you really wanted to. And just knowing just the level of intensity between these two competitors because of what is currently at stake, because Nathan is currently ranked number 1 here in the state, while Spec is currently ranked number 2. And just the sheer gap between a pro-level competitor and somebody of my level, as somebody who plays very casually. Sometimes I just completely miss where the puck is going entirely. It's just absolutely astounding. Absolutely astounding.
It's funny because I've often said, and I've often asked a lot of people, what makes your heart race more? You playing and it's 6-6, or you watching and it's 6-6?
Yeah, I've been feeling that in the crowd as well. Just my heart feeling like it's going to jump out of my chest every time that you know, you go for one of those crazy charges where you're lunging across the table and Spec catching it and just like
dude, there was a few shots where like I chased it and he just stopped it dead cold, and it's legit scary. It's like in the Matrix shooting a bullet and it just stopping. Like I'm going for the shot and I'm like, he's either gonna bounce back and I'm gonna get it, maybe he'll steal it, maybe it'll go in, but the last thing you expect is just for a dead cold stop on the table. It's like legit scary.
Yeah, and also a large part of Spec's current defense, the mallet that you're using is a material that you were commenting in the past that you think is a very good defensive material, is it not?
It's a little harder by other people's standards, but for you to dead stop a puck like that, it still takes a lot of skill, even with multiple mallets, you know. You just gotta find the correct, perfect timing to pull back so you can stop that whole a lot of that inertia.
Yeah, they just the technical skill involved in stopping a puck. It's one of those really funny things that if you go on any piece of social media that has air hockey competitions, you'll see a lot of people in the crowd be like, "Oh, I can do that too. I can do that too." And then you go to try and you just watch the puck bounce all the way across. And go
it's
right
very true. People watch it all the time and say, "Oh, I could beat that guy." I'm seeing in the chat. There's a bunch of questions here, so I'd love
absolutely.
to. Yeah. So someone's talking about my game face and how serious I look. I definitely try. I've been told by many people. So outside of air hockey, I try to be the nicest guy I can possibly be. In air hockey, I've been told by many people I'm very scary. I see one that says, Spec appears so calm and so cool. Number one, Spec is one of the coolest people I know, for sure. I see, we got Fluffy Dragon Slayer saying, seems like there's a lot of energy flying around this game. Are either of y'all having a hard time fighting off the anticipation? I will say that when Spec beat me at the weekly last week, I knew he was going to challenge me, but I'm like, I want to challenge him instead. One, because it's funny. It's like, you can't fire me. I quit, kind of thing. And two, because there's a shot that he's doing that I have to learn how to block. And so I have to have him beat it into me for me to be able to learn to block it. So I challenged him, but as I walked up, like, I challenge you. He's like, I challenge you. We're like, ah. So there was a lot of anticipation. I, to be honest, very much figured this game was going to be a loss. We played between then and now, and he beat me then for the unranked challenge. So I really figured that he had this game. I think that he's going to come back up because he usually does that. If you watch any of Spec's games, he like lets it go a set for fun, and then he gets serious and dominates. So I'm very much expecting to lose this one still. Somebody else here said that they that I have an amazing stretch across the table. That amazing stretch costed me a point earlier today because I went a little too far.
You're way up there against
right
the line.
across the line. Did you guys see that on the stream too? It was clearly across the line.
Yeah. We were all, everybody in the crowd was so excited that it just no.
Yeah.
No, it's over.
And what sucks is I could have just waited an extra split second, not even a full second, and it would have crossed back over. Now, mind you, Spec would have probably blocked it by then. He probably would have been in position, but I took advantage of it, and it was a cool shot. It felt good. It felt so good. So,
realizing that you can stretch that far across the table. Now, Nathan, you keep bringing up a particular shot. I have to ask Spec, do you know what shot that he's talking about?
oh, yes, he definitely
does.
he knows.
I want to spill the
As far
beans.
as I remember, it is.
Look at the replays. The one he's gotten all the points
As far
on.
as I remember, it is our shot of the week.
Yeah, I mean, the cut shot's pretty deadly for most right-hand players. You know, it's one of the most quintessential shots to learn in air hockey because it's just so widely used, but it's so rarely blocked. You know, it takes a while to get a cut shot to block a cut shot. Even if you block the cut shot, could just cross you. So there's really a very variable defense you need to block every single type of shot your player or opponent is throwing at you. Say, okay, you'll just hold down the cut side, then I'll just hit my cross. Then you gotta hold down the cross side and then hit my cut. It's just a back and forth game of where am I going to go and how is he going to block it.
And Spec, a lot of his releases are in the same place on the table, so it's really hard to read where he's going to shoot it. And the reason why the cut and the cross are such difficult shots to block, or why they're so important to block, is that they're the fastest shots. A lot of people ask me why you got to block higher up above your goal. Well, if you think about it, the straight shots have the shortest distance to the goal, right? So if you hit a bank shot or a double bank or a triple bank, it's going way further. It slows down a lot more before it gets there, and the angle of trajectory is so wide that it's easier to block. So if you do a nice straight shot, it's so fast, so you have to usually sacrifice other things and try to block it first. You block for the cut cross first, and then if you see that they shot a bank, then you back up to block the bank. Anyway, I know that we should jump back in here. Someone's asking if there's going to be more games. Yes, there's only one set so far, so we've got one more set to go if I win, and if I lose this next set, it goes into a third set. So we're starting into the second set right now. If you look at the top of the screen, it'll show one bubble where it says sets. So I've won one set, now it starts back over for the second set. If I get the next 4 games, I take it. If he gets the next 4 games, it goes to the third set. Is anybody else asking questions here? If you guys have any other questions, throw them in there right this second. I'll give you one more minute to ask any questions, and then we'll jump back into the next game here.
Now, I, for one, look forward to Nathan finally figuring out how to dismantle that formula offense first and foremost. So do you feel like he got it in the bag this time around? No, not at all?
No. I mean, like, there were so many times, if you were watching, that he did the perfect shot. I was not there to block it, and he was just a hair off, and he missed. It wasn't that I blocked it, it was that he missed. So the reason why I won some of those games is simply that he barely missed his shot. It was not that I blocked his shot. It wasn't for me doing good. It was for him barely missing the shot. Which sucks because I want to be like, oh, I'm blocking everything. I'm impenetrable right now, and the answer is I'm not. I still have a very hard time with that shot. And so, no, I'm not confident at all about this next set, period. I'm not confident at all. There's a lot of games I'll be like, yeah, I'm pretty confident. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but yeah, I think I got this in the bag. Not this game at all. Zero confidence.
All right. Any final questions from anybody in the chat?
We got one asking if we're both playing with a lot of power and is that intentional or just excitement. I think a lot of that is intentional because we know that a very hard shot's harder to block. You'll notice the very last shot of the last set was an intentional left wall off speed because we've been playing at such high speed that I tried an off speed and it worked. It was a stinking nasty shot. It was nasty. And I'm glad I aimed it right. It was a left wall over off speed. It was a jerk move, but we had been playing so fast and it was something I hadn't done yet, so I wanted to try that. So yes, I think it's intentional. Spec, what about you?
I mean, I do a little bit of off speeds too. You know, it's not all about power. It's more about deception.
Spec just hits that hard naturally. Doesn't even think about it.
No, sometimes I hit slow and Nathan falls for it.
It's true, and I will say there's nothing worse than losing to an off-speed shot.
When
It's
it's
so slow, and you have so much time to
God.
block it, and it
Yeah.
makes you feel like you're just like, I don't know, in an alternate dimension with like where reality's slowed down. You're like, whoa, and you see it going slow, but your hand's moving too fast to stop it. It's hard to explain, but
It is. That's just one of the many layers that goes into.
Yep.
It's a good final shot because you know you've been playing, you know what it sometimes feels like super speed the entire game, and then you slow way down. And
Yep. I noticed
your brain's still going a mile.
I was going for a really fast drift against him and it wasn't working. He's so used to me doing that, so I'm like, all right, I'll try for this much slower drift and see if that works. So, all right, we're starting into our next set right now. If anybody has any other questions, you can throw them in there. We might be able to see them if they don't get buried in the chat by the next end of the next set. We appreciate all of you guys for commenting because that helps boost the channel. So thank you for subscribing and liking, and I'll let you guys pop back in there.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Yeah, and thank you, Danny Hines. I know you can't. I know I can't hear you right this second, but I know you can hear me. Thank you so much for taking the time. Danny Hines is an 11-time, it might even be 12. I always say it wrong, but 11-time world champion, nicest guy in the world. Takes his time to hang out with us lesser humans, and he does such an amazing job with coaching and just being there for us. So I really appreciate Danny for taking the time.
You missed one.
All right. So if you're just now joining us, you're watching some of the best air hockey out of the state of Idaho that you will see, and it's between Nathan Buss, our current #1 player out of Idaho, that you see on your right, sporting the bandana, and against Peter Cai, aka Spec. He is currently, I think they said #2 in Idaho,
Yep.
but I'm not 100%. It might be #3.
Spec is in fact #2 in Idaho.
Okay, so
Yep.
so he is #2 currently.
Mhm.
So awesome. Okay,
All right.
and you know they both have world ranks as well. They were both here in the greater actually Baytown, so on Puck Island. They were at the World Championships where Nathan finished 32nd in the world and Pete finished 67th. Good, strong tournament for both those guys. Obviously, they
Yes.
want to do a whole lot better, and we expect much better things out of them in the future.
Yes.
They both have high ceilings. So,
Do you mind if I really quick talk about our sponsors?
no, please do.
All
please.
right. So, as you guys have probably noticed, along our back wall there, we have our sponsors. Starting out, we have Ruth Kamichek with Ruthless Real Estate. Her son Josiah plays. You guys have probably seen him. She is the best real estate. What word am I looking for?
Agent.
Agent, there we go. Thank you. Best real estate agent in Idaho. So if you guys are looking for some real estate, go check her out. Her number is 208-965-3570. So go ahead and give her a call. And then we also have right now Air Conditioning. They are priding themselves on offering the best services, the best prices, and the best warranties in Idaho. So don't settle for anything less when it comes to your home comfort. They are available to reach them from a number at 208-585-5868, or you can visit right now heatcool.com. So go ahead and go check out our sponsors. They do a lot for us here over at the American Air Hockey League. But I think we should jump right into this game. We are 1-1 right now.
1-1, and you know, can't say enough about the sponsors. Obviously we appreciate everything that they do. I know Ruth has been a long-time sponsor now, and her son has a tremendous amount of promise in the sport.
Oh yeah, no, her son is.
I've never met her. Met her son finally here, if he even remembers meeting you. But most of the time I was in the booth, kind of doing this same kind of thing I'm doing right now, commentating. So I was kind of on an island for the most of the tournament. But got to meet her son. Had the pleasure of that. But I know he'll have a very promising future in our sport with it.
He's a good guy. He's really improving quickly, and he's.
The story I know about Ruth is how she helped Nathan find his current home after the tragedy that kind of led him, to Idaho from California and whatnot, from the forest fires. But yeah, great stuff from all of our sponsors.
She's been, like you said, sponsoring for a while, supporting us really well. She'll tune into the chat every once in a while, especially when her son Josiah is playing. But yeah, she's been a real big help around here, and we appreciate her very much.
Absolutely. All right, so we're back in now. This is game 1 of the second set. Nathan won the first set, 4-2. Now Peter's up to a 3-1 lead in the second set, and it's a do-or-die set for Spec. He's got to do it. Is. Nice cut straight by Nathan there, but do or die. I mean, if Nathan wins this set, it's over. The match is done, and they'll have to fight another day for get another opportunity. But he doesn't want to do that.
No,
and you can tell right now. I mean, another good cross straight by Spec. I mean, he's got to stick to that program and just be disciplined with the program.
You were probably hearing us when we were doing our couch interviews, but Nathan knows that's the shot that gets him. That's his Achilles heel. He knows that, he was talking about at Worlds, the World Tournament.
Yeah, the cut straight.
Yeah, he got him a few games in a row, and he lost I think it was about 10 places because of it. And so when a cut straight, and that was a good right ball bank there by Nathan, get behind the defensive Spec. When a cut straight is working on you, it tells you a lot about like the foundation of your defense. And when I say that is, you have to have a tremendous amount to be a really good defensive player in the sport. You have to have a tremendous amount of discipline, and that discipline is to not allow the same shot to go in over and over and over and over again. And typically it's the easiest shots, which in air hockey it's the quickest straight lines, which are your straight shot, your cut, your cross. Those are another. Speaking of crosses, there was another cross straight. I would say Spike is coming in strong on this one.
Yeah, and the reason that Spec is doing well with the cut straight, I think, is he's complementing it well with his cross straight, just like what we saw. And I think that's really the difference.
Yeah.
So, nice left wall over by Nathan. He's not giving up. I mean,
no, he's
going to fight back. Another charge.
Yeah, he's working for this. Yeah, Nathan knows where he's playing weak in this game. He was telling us about it on the couch, and he was telling us that he's basically like subjecting himself to those shots to force himself to learn how to block those shots.
Absolutely, yeah.
Which
and you have to go through it.
Yeah, because you have to trial and error. I'll block here when he does the shot. Oh, well, that doesn't work, so I won't do that again. So I'll try here. And
so to give you a little history, back when I was kind of coming up and playing, I mean, we didn't have all these videos, instructional videos, and all this education out there for everybody. So I had no idea what a cross straight even was, and I had a challenge match against a guy named Jesse Dowdy. Oh, he tried to all-speed power straight there by Spec. But I played this challenge match against Jesse Dowdy, and he actually beat me 16 games to 0 with that cross straight. And he's an 11-time world champion, Jesse. And anyways, it just goes to show you everybody has to learn how to do that. And as tough of a loss as that was for me, it made me so much of a better player in the long run.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
Oh, they're really getting excited now.
yeah, nice block there by Nathan. You know, I think Beck should have slowed that down a little bit and set that offense back up. You know, it's real easy when you finally get that game point, you know, and you're up 6 to whatever, to kind of rush things and just want to get the game over with. And,
you can't do that because and Spec takes it.
Yep, off a little bit of a transition there. Got behind the defense of Nathan, so he's up 1-0. Good start, you know, for Pete. I think he's got to really just focus again on the discipline on offense. Set up his offense. Set up those straight shots. You know, not just a cut, but complement it with a cross straight and an occasional, you know, bank, whether it's left wall or right wall, to get behind the defense of Nathan. You know, when you get him coming out and charging, because that's really been Nathan's answer, you know, to his Achilles, is to go out and charge that shot. And unfortunately, that is a very risky solution. And typically against experience, you know, the more experienced player, that's going to be a very failing solution, because, you know, the experienced player is going to just let you come on out, hold that release, and just bank right behind you. And so we'll see if Spec, you know, kind of reads that a little bit better and takes advantage of that. You know, but for Nathan, you know, he's got to just relax and actually take away, you know, those straight pathways that the drift is creating. And I don't think maybe he's not seeing that on the table. But again, the whole reason that somebody drifts a puck, like maybe left of center, is to basically force a defense to shift one direction or the other. Because if you don't, then they create a lane, a perfect lane to the goal. And if you don't shift over just a little bit, like for Nathan, to take away that cut, just a little bit to the right, just a hair, now you're taking it away.
Yeah.
But if you pull back either direction or straight back, you're leaving the straight shots open, whether it's the cut or cross, and it's more of a guessing game.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's got to show that discipline. He's got to take away shots. Like there was a little bit better. You know, he stayed out. See, again, there's no reason for him to pull back at all. He's just going to stay out there and just relax. And let the puck come to you. It's easier said than done, because obviously when you do that, you know, people bank around you. But that's how you take away the straights in this game.
And I feel like a lot of this game is a lot of like easier said than done, you know.
Of course,
because like, you know, like you'll be thinking in your head, you know, like I'm gonna hit that left wall, and then you end up like double, you know, you double wall, or doesn't even go in or anything like that, and it's.
Yeah. Well, sometimes again, like, you know, practice makes perfect, right? So that muscle memory. There's that cross straight by Spec. But muscle memory is a big part of this game, and the more you play, the more you develop that muscle memory. And I can't stress enough how important that is, because your body will naturally just go to whatever habits you may have. You know, kind of falls onto that memory that it's developed. And not sure what's going on here. Somebody called a timeout, or maybe a technical issue. I'm not sure.
Nate called a timeout.
Okay.
So, yep.
All right, so it looks like it's that 1-0 Nathan still?
It appears so.
Okay. Yeah. I think, you know, like I said, for Spec, he's got to just maintain that level of focus on offense and just keep attacking with those straights and the occasional bank. And I know I keep saying it sound like a broken record, but it's a very simple game plan.
You're completely right, and so.
Yeah, and that's not just Nathan. That's 90% of air hockey. You know, you can win like that. It's just a matter of breaking somebody's discipline on defense.
Yeah.
And that's even at the highest levels.
So everybody's got their kryptonite when it comes to their defense, and it's just a matter of discovering that kryptonite.
Yes. And we know there are different colors of kryptonite
Yeah.
for all of our comic book, gurus out there.
Yeah, right. So yeah, some of these, like we got. I would say I know that a lot of overs are a very difficult shot to block. Or, like from personal experience, playing others and personally, like against myself, overs can be a pretty difficult shot to block.
Yeah.
So, you
Unforced
got
error, it looks like there.
you got that was it?
Looks like that puck's going to go to Spec. I'm not sure.
Well, because by the
Oh no, actually he scored on himself there. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, he did. Because I was confused because like I didn't see anything, and after looking at the replay, he was on his side of the line, and I said, oh.
Yep. That was over the mallet shot. Actually banked under the defense.
Oh, it wasn't over the mallet.
Yeah, he did get under. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, there's all sorts of different shots that people struggle with, and kind of like Nathan, I struggle with those cuts, So everybody struggles with something, but that's why you keep practicing.
No, absolutely. And again, so like defensively, it's a lot of it's mindset. I think a lot of people feel like they're helpless, right? They're just kind of a victim as to what the offense is going to do.
Yeah.
And I think, nice little hustle point by Spec to get by Nathan there.
Yeah,
But a lot of that's just, again, mindset. It's kind of taking control of the situation and saying, you know what, I'm not going to let these shots go in, and I'm going to force you to hit other shots that you have to hit. So now the advantage actually is mine because I know what you have to hit to score because you can't score these other ones.
Yeah.
So when you do that, you totally change, the mental part of the game, and it becomes more of a battle of wills, right? So who's going to give in first? Nice cross straight by Spec.
I would say I remember when I was first starting out, Nathan, actually, he'd always tell me, like, never think I can't.
Mm-hmm.
Always think I'll do my best. Because it's, it's telling yourself that you're gonna lose, and then you're gonna lose. Because when you have that mindset of, I'm not gonna win, why try? You're not gonna give it your hardest. But if you give it your hardest, you might actually win. So that was something that Nate was always, it was very important. It was a big, I never think I'm not gonna win. Always think I'm gonna give it my best, or I'm gonna win. Be confident in yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to believe in yourself. It is very important that you believe in yourself.
So one of the things I've always coached, and I'm coaching, I've told this to the best players that we have today, and even some of the best. There's the bank around Nathan there after you're charging, but it's the opponent that you're playing, honestly, doesn't really matter. It's really the puck. That's all that matters.
Yes.
Yes, the person that is on the other side may know how to manipulate that puck a lot better than another person, but in all reality, it's still just the puck. There's the cross there, so now it's commanding 2-0 lead by Spec. This is looking like it may go to a third set if Spec can keep this momentum up, but he's up 2-0. Much better position than he was last set where he found himself down 0-2. We'll see if he can keep this up or if Nathan can kind of turn the tide a little bit. So, huge first two games here by Spec. All right. Still there, Kai?
Yes. Sorry.
Oh, okay. No worries. All right, so we got another 35 seconds here before these guys will start it up again.
All right. Well, I have to go do something really quick, so I will be right back.
All right, no worries. All right, so again, if you're just joining us, this is the American Air Hockey League, and this battle is in Idaho. And we are watching Peter Cai, currently number 2 in Idaho, versus Nathan Buss, number 1 in Idaho. So the top 2 players in Idaho are battling it out, for the gold. The winner will be the number 1 player in Idaho. If Spec can pull this upset off, on paper it's definitely an upset, even though Spec's been kind of starting to knock on that door with a few wins here on Nathan here recently. But that'll bump Spec up quite a bit in the rankings, not just in Idaho, but I mean world rankings, because currently Spec is number 67 in the world and Nathan is number 32 in the world. So again, both these players, definitely they are wanting to move up those world ranks. It's important to move up in those ranks, and in the off season or during in between world championships, players are always challenging each other, trying to take those world rankings so they can get those seeds, the good seeds. The better your seed is, the less difficult or the less amount of difficulty you typically will have in your road to try to be a world champion. Now, it doesn't always work out. Sometimes you still run into somebody that might have your number early on in a tournament. But world championships have been decided by double elimination tournaments for goodness sake, over close to 50 years of air hockey, which is in terms of longevity, compared to other sports. I mean, we're not nearly as old as baseball or football or tennis or most of the other sports. Obviously soccer, but you got to start somewhere. They certainly did, and we are just following suit, and we're hoping that the rest of the world will kind of see what this is all about. But this is a competitive sport. It is a difficult sport to play and to master. These guys have been doing this for a good little while now, but we have players from all walks of life. This is probably the most diversified sport in existence, because as long as you can basically get on the side of a table and hold a mallet, you pretty much can play air hockey. And you have an opportunity to be the best in the world. And it's kind of an open format. It's not you don't have to run the fastest 40 time or bench press the most amount of weight. There are rooms for different spaces for all sorts of different, I guess, abilities. So they're going to reface off.
I have returned.
All right.
I had to take care of something outside of the booth.
No worries. All right.
So we're back at it.
Yep.
Game 3.
Back at it here. Nathan finds himself down 2-0 in the second set. Opening up with a cut straight shot to score on Spec. He just hesitated and moved just a hair a little early there. If you watch that replay on the defense.
Oh.
Good shot there by Spec to tie it 1 apiece now.
Starting this game off with some.
So that's
I don't want to say slow, because I feel like that's the wrong word. Like, that's the only word I can think of. We're really focusing this game, honing it in, making sure that we're taking nice shots. There we go.
Yeah. So it's really kind of both players trying to be efficient, right? So they're taking their time, building up possession time. Nice cross straight there by Spec again. He wants to do that and make good, hard, efficient shots, because, again, Nathan is this explosive player that once he gets on a roll, again, he's going to just steamroll him. So Spec's been a victim of that probably more times than he'd like to, admit. And he's probably had enough of it. So
Yeah.
he's going to take his time and set things up and play, within himself, making those good shots. And I think Nathan, you can see he's hitting a lot of off goals, but you see the speed of the drift. For the most part, he's varying it, but he wants to be fast and quick, just like that, kind of a quick strike.
Yeah. And from the 3 years or so I've been playing, some people have told me that several off goals in a row is sometimes a strategy. People let down their guard a little bit, think it's just gonna be another off goal, and then they really just, strike right into the goal. And sometimes it can sometimes it can be a pretty good strategy, but sometimes it's hard to tell whether they're just, actually hitting those off goals on purpose or accidentally. But
yeah, I'll go into some little detail for you on that there, as Nathan now just wins that game 7-4. Really kind of came out on fire, I think, and just stayed on the attack to take that game and to try to capture the momentum back, for this set. Because again, if Spec can continue and win this set, then it's anybody's match, and I think Spec would definitely have the momentum if he goes a third set. But talking about off goals, Kai, so the reason that an off goal works is what it does in psychology. It creates a conditioned response. So if you see something or you experience something, and it's over and over and over and over, your mind starts getting used to that motion, to that pattern, and it just instinctively expects the next thing to happen to be the exact same thing that just happened. Like we're all very conditioned that, in the morning the sun comes up, right?
yeah.
So if the sun all of a sudden didn't come up, we'd be like, oh my Lord, what's going on?
Yeah,
this isn't right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Totally.
we all have that conditioned response. Well, and this is a very, very, minute type of analogy, but if I'm sitting there and I'm hitting off goal, right side, and I have the exact same release, but now I cut straight, naturally my arm defensively just moves over to the left, and it leaves open that cut straight, and that's the whole reason that those do work.
Yeah.
And it's just called conditioned responses. And it's no different than, it doesn't have to be off goals. It could be certain shots, right, or certain speeds. But all of those things, try to help. Unforced error there by Nathan. Good job of going after that puck, but he's got to corral those and not allow that to happen. Wow,
that was a underhanded.
Forehand. Forehand straight. Yep. Ooh. Good right wall over by Nathan to respond there. He needed to, because he's down 2-1 now.
Mm-hmm. I would say we're getting a little deja vu with that down 2-0 for Nate. But
Yep. All right, let's see
he's
here.
really slowing it down now.
Well, I like what Nathan's doing there. He's kind of varying his speed. He goes fast, slow, keeping Spec just kind of guessing, maybe trying to keep him off balance. But Spec comes right back and hits a good strong cross straight.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you that's like the formula, right? So if he sticks to it, he's got a good shot.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if it works, it works, right?
Absolutely. So again, Nathan's still trying to find that moment there, and he just left himself very, very open right there for the cross street again. And there it's kind of he's guessing. He pulled back and he's moving around. If you watch there on the replay, he's back, he's right there, and then he's just guessing.
Yep.
And you got to have discipline to state it. So so he's kind of stretching, and you might get one or two like that, but overall, in a long game or a long match, the other player is going to take advantage of that. Yeah. And I think that's what we've kind of seen here a few times from Spec. Is Spec going to be able to, I guess, maintain that and keep Nathan, from getting into a bit of a hot streak, because that's really where he feeds.
Totally, yeah. Nathan's.
Good block there by Spec.
Yeah. Ooh. Nathan almost had that one.
Yeah, almost a good get. Not quite, though. Yeah, see, again, we're big time open. He's got to realize where he's at. When he's going to charge, he's going up against that goal. And there, see, and that's the shot that keeps him honest.
Yep.
Good release on a hard right wall bank. Commanding 5-1 lead right now for Spec. I think Spec, he's feeling it a little bit, where he's like, okay, you know what, this is doable.
Yeah, this is what we were talking about on the couch earlier is, like, so far in this challenge match for world ranks, they've been, pretty decently, they've been back and forth. Nathan has one set so far. But, on, like, previous matches for, like, points, like rank points, Spec was doing this to Nate. He'd be up 5-1 and then up 6-1, and
yeah.
So, everybody, we know that Spec can do it, and here we are seeing it right now.
Yeah.
And I think.
Okay, so it looks like they're going to face off. So what? For everybody's watching here, the ref couldn't determine who actually, was on offense striking the puck, or if both players hit it at the same time and knocked it off. So he determined that he wasn't sure, so they just decided to face off. Good block there by Spec. Now he's got possession. Huge moment right here. I mean, I think Spec going up 3-1. That would be a huge momentum change.
Ooh.
Yeah, game point 2 now, with a chance to go up 3-1 for Spec. Yeah, Spec can maintain this level.
Ooh.
He's going to be in good shape. Yeah, that one kind of, Spec was there, but it bounced off, went back in. Again, you got to finish the block. Finish the block.
Yep. Oh,
nice, beautiful cut straight.
I would say Nate's aiming to tie it up and win.
Yeah. That's the kind of shot that Nathan needs to do. But there you go. Right back to the delayed release on the cut straight. Nathan, again, you watch his defense. He's almost pulling back already. He's way out of position. Never gets far enough over. Again, when you're moving all around like that, you kind of lose sight of where you are. You don't have a feel where you actually are on the table. So that's really why that's working on Nathan. He's got to just maintain that little zone and move over just a hair to his right and just stay there. No reason to move. You just stay there and let the puck come to you. And it's kind of a trust factor. It's kind of a you have to just experience it. You have to say, you know what, I don't even care if they bank around me. I'm just going to stay here and I'm going to take away all the straights and prevent them from hitting a straight shot. And then all of a sudden, like, okay, look, now I have a good feel for blocking all the straight shots. Now I'm going to slowly take away the banks. And then the next thing you know, you're still taking away all the straight shots and you're taking away the majority of the banks. Now you kind of have a freedom on offense you've never experienced before, because when your defense is playing at a high level, you can do whatever the heck you want offensively. You can go out there and hit nothing but all speeds if you want, because they can't score. And that's where Colin is right now. If you look at like our best defenses in the sport, it's Colin can hit whatever he wants. He can learn a whole new offense in the finals of a world championship if he really wanted to, because his defense is playing so strong, and it's so difficult to get around him. So anyways, but yeah, so this is great momentum now for Spec. He's up 3-1. An opportunity to close this set out is right here, right now.
Yep.
As they're about to face off. For Nathan, I think Nathan's got to fight back, because the more he fights back, the more pressure he's going to put on Spec. And the more pressure he puts on Spec, anything can happen.
Definitely, for sure.
At this point, go ahead.
for lack of a better word, I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm so excited for this one. Because this could be, you're right, this could be a, this could be, you know, this could be the game that sets us into a third set, or, you know, or this game could make this set long, like, you know, 2 or like a game or 2 longer. This really is a toss-up right here. You know, this could go any which way.
Of course. And anything can certainly happen if it goes to a third set. And regardless of what happens this set, if it does go 3, you know, anything can happen. Now, that being said, you know, the fact that air hockey is such a mental game, you know, momentum is a huge part of it. So, like, right now, Nathan could get the momentum back, even if he loses this set, going into the third set, which would really make things a lot more interesting, versus if Spec just keeps doing that kind of thing and actually keeps kind of corralling that offense that Nathan has, you know, that could be a really big mental, you know, I guess, mountain for Nathan to deal with.
Yeah. So Matt has joined us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think my favorite thing he said so far is, Spec, win this for the little people.
Yes, I know. I mean, I've met Matt a couple times now, and he's definitely one of my favorite guys out of Idaho. And yes, he's definitely one of the smallest guys I've ever met.
Yeah, right.
And you know, but yes, win it for the little guys. Being a little guy myself, I can say that. So.
Yes, Matt's in that club with you too, 100%.
Yeah. All right, another cut straight there by Nathan. He's staying on top, you know, momentum wise, and I think that's important for him. He just needs to stay on the attack, you know, and be relentless here. Because you know, make Beck earn it is what he has to do.
Yeah. Oh.
He must hit that. He's trying for a left wall.
I would say, even if they do keep that, you know, point for point thing going, you know, it's because it can be kind of frustrating when you're going point for point, and then you know, you're just like, come on, like, what's my defense doing right now? You know, like, can I just, you know,
yeah, it's the craziest thing. I've experienced it, like, you know, where I've gone a whole, you know, a lot of these tables, and not as much these days because some of them don't have like those internal timers on them. But the tables back in the day would have like these internal timers, and I've had it where like neither player, you know, I've experienced it where neither player, myself included, could not score on the other guy, and he couldn't score on me for an entire freaking game. You know, before the air went out. Then all of a sudden, we couldn't stop each other, and it's just crazy how that happens. But again, it just shows like just the mental amount of just mental aptitude, I guess it takes, or the mental fortitude, rather, is a better word.
Yeah, no, this game can be very frustrating. Beyond, you know, really trying to like focus in and calm your mind, calm your hand, calm your arm, all that. It can be a very good anger management exercise, because, you know, you're just trying and you're trying and trying, it's not happening, and so you have to like calm yourself. You really focus, because, you know, it's an angry player can, you know, and sometimes an angry player is a player at their best. But what I've noticed a lot of the times, an angry player is a player at their worst.
Yeah, huge point there for Spec. 5-4. He's 1 point away from getting a set point here.
So he's probably feeling the pressure now. He knows.
Well, but I think both players kind of feel it to some degree. That one got away from Nathan. He couldn't quite corral that.
That's okay.
A little charge there, but you know what? If I'm Spec, I'm like, good. You know, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It's a reminder saying, you know what? I got to be ready for that.
Yeah.
He tried to make around him. He was just very inaccurate there, but He went right back to it.
Yeah. He's
Went back to the straight. So
Very-
again, got to take his time.
ooh, forehand.
It did not take his time. He rushed that, and
Yeah.
that's the inexperience right there. You know,
Oh.
Nathan kind of got one that flubbed in a little bit.
Yep, we're tied up here now.
Went
Very
right back to the
important number.
trade. It wasn't quite there.
Oh, and
To the cross trade.
yep.
You know, he's feeling that pressure a little bit, so he's
Uh-huh.
just probably a little inaccurate.
Probably.
He's just got to relax and just let it go.
Oh, he did let it go.
Yep.
Which is
He
unfortunate,
did.
but
Not the way you want to.
no.
Yeah, you don't want to sing that Frozen song.
No.
Not that kind of let it go.
No, we want to keep it. Sometimes this feels like a big game of keep away. Nate with his fake
Yeah,
outs.
good block by Spec.
Mm-hmm.
See what happens here. Trying kind of early, kind of up the pipe, cross straight there by Nate.
Oh.
Nice block there on the cut straight.
Yes.
Right back to the cut.
Yep.
There's
Cut
the
again.
cross.
Oh.
Left ball bank. I don't think I've seen one of those today from Spec, and it worked.
Yeah,
Good
and
job,
that put him at
Spec.
set point.
Yep, huge point.
So we.
This is where it starts. Defense for Spec, and we'll
He
see
really
if
needs
Nathan
to-
can force a game.
Timeout from Nate.
6.
Nate feels it. He knows. He can feel it in his bones.
Yeah. So, you know, Spec is feeling the weight of all of Idaho air hockey right now. You know, just he's not just doing this for himself; he's doing this for everybody. So added pressure.
Yeah, I have Matt here in the chat saying no offense to Nathan because he's great, but if Spec can win this, if Spec could win this, it would be a watershed moment for Idaho, spreading out the rank depth a little more, bringing everyone up with them.
Yep.
Which 100%. Oh,
There it is.
Oh, we did
Cross
it.
straight. Good set there. Great job by Beck to finish that off. It was very well hit. The timing of the release was really good. He took his time, pulled his arm back, you know, enough to fool Nathan's defense. You know, I can't stress enough how important it is that he just kept with that, and that's so key for him, is just to stick to the program. You know, there's no reason for him to deviate from it at all. And I think he's going to do that. But it's one thing to do it. It's a whole nother, I'm sorry, it's one thing to talk about it. It's one thing to know it. It's a whole other thing to actually go out and perform and execute.
Yeah.
So good job there to tie it up. We are now one set apiece. And I know, Kai, you're about to probably go back over to the couch and have another conversation with those guys. But I think everybody here is looking forward to that third and final set coming up.
Mm-hmm. All right, so yep, I'm gonna head on out there, and I will see you here after we're done.
Sounds good. Okay, if everybody's just joining us, we are watching the number 1 and number 2 players out of Idaho. We've got Nathan Buss, and who is number 1 currently, and Peter Cai, number 2 out of Idaho. World ranks for Nathan 32.
More stressed
and
watching than I've ever
Peter-
been playing an actual game before.
Dude.
Just like the entire time they're
All right,
playing,
we're gonna
and
leave it to
everybody's
the
like
couch
holding their
right
breath, going, oh.
I'm trying to pay attention to the chat because Matt's chiming in now. And
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Shoutouts to Matt in the chat.
tuned in.
Hi, Matt.
This
How's
is
school?
this is what I was telling you, you know, and you're saying that, like, am I confident? No, because this is how Spec does things.
Every time, yeah.
Yeah.
Spec is in comebacks.
He plays a lot. He doesn't like try to do mind games as much, but he does inevitably do that by like holding back and analyzing. And so, yeah, he did really good though. He did
Man,
awesome.
my breath is shaky just from watching. I haven't even done anything outside the crowd outside of just eating chips and dip, you know? Dude, this is the most intense pretzel and dip eating I've ever had in my life. Holy moly.
Yeah.
Alright. Oh man, how do you feel about that set though? Are you still losing in that one shot?
It's still well, it's not even that as much as it's now opened up other shots for him. So I'm like sacrificing it, and he's doing a lot of what they call Danny under. Brought to you by Danny Hines, actually. He brings it up to that same spot he would normally do the cut from, and instead he does a fast under. And I'm so nervous about that cut getting through that it's really hard for me to pull away from that side. I'm cheating right, as they call it, cheating the cut, which means I'm like blocking it and allowing everything else to go through. I'm having a really hard time cutting through his defense, like a really hard time. I've tried to do the cross shot, I don't know, 30 times I feel like, and I've only gotten one in.
Oh, so we've been talking about it, me and Danny, and yeah, no, you've been, yeah, you tried a bunch of them, and
what is Danny saying that I should do? That's the question. I wish I had my headphones on so I could hear him right now. I know. What did he say to do?
I don't know how to best word this.
I need to get like a headset in. I've got like a sunburn from the state fair. I could just start writing messages on my phone.
Like sending the secret messages.
Hey, look!
Yeah, no, I mean, like, one of my timeouts I looked at Jessica and I'm like, I hope she can give me some nugget of knowledge, but she was just like, she gave me like the nod.
Oh, no.
I'm like, oh no, she thinks I got this. Well, that sucks.
Cry for help. And once again, thank you so much, Danny, for helping commentate today.
Yes.
I'm just sitting in for him while we're doing this for technical
It would be very
reasons.
awkward if it was just me.
Just you asking questions up here, yeah.
like,
we appreciate you, Danny Hines, so much. Thank you.
Yes.
You're doing a fantastic job. We love your work. And also, once again, during these intermissions, this is a great time for anybody in the audience to ask any questions. If there's anything they would like to ask either competitor, we're still kind of waiting on Spec here, but Nathan is fantastic at answering any question that you might have. Even if you're not familiar with air hockey very much, they can answer so many questions on what it's like to play at a pro level or any tips and things like that. We actually have a question live from the audience.
So when it comes to regarding the 50-50 chance between the over and under shots, what's your best strategy in combating that? Or is it just
On the over-under, so I talked to a guy, he did really well this year, did really good last year as well. His name is Austin Fernandez, and what he suggested is you block for the under, so you pull back left as hard as you can, and then immediately pop out. And so what that means is that you block the under shot, but the over will take a tiny bit longer to get there because of the angle, it has further to travel. And so he found that by pulling down, blocking that under, and immediately popping out, he can block both the under and the over. I've not mastered that even 1% yet. Because like right now, I wish I could block his dang cut and then come and block his under. Because if I could just block the cut and the under, Spec would have nothing this game. That's his two main shots. He's been getting me is that cut and the right wall under. So if I could block both those, I would. But I'm missing it. He hasn't done many overs. He's done a few overs. He's done a few left walls, but most of his shots are that cut and under. For those that weren't able to hear him, he just said, how do you block the under and the over at the same time? Yeah. We've got a bunch of people here watching. We're gonna need to get like studio seating in here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. How cool would it be to have like a little, microphone in the audience?
You know, what's funny is like it's really weird playing with a crowd. So we're so used to this room being like dead silent.
Yeah, I remember that when the first
and it's
day I
so weird to like do a good shot, and in my head I'm like, ooh, that was good, right? But then I hear everyone like mimic what's in my head, where everyone's like, ooh, and I'm like, oh, like
I was right about.
Or when he does a really good shot, and I'm like, dang it, and I hear everyone go, ooh, it's like, yeah. So it's kind of fun playing with a crowd. We usually have it very private, so we can play as competitively as we can without interference. But it's actually been really fun.
Do you find it at all motivating, or do you find it more distracting?
No, I mean it is what it is. I like it. I think it's fun. I think it's moderately distracting, but that's just because I'm thinking about it. That's on me, right? No one is being distracting. No one is purposely doing anything. It's perfect volume level and everything. It's more me just like, I hear everyone go, ooh, and I'm like, ooh, that was a good shot. And almost like, I like reflect on it. I'm like, I'm glad the people saw that was as good as it felt, because that felt like a good shot. And then Spec scores a goal, and I'm like, darn it.
So that raises a question for me. You were just saying that like it's perfect in here. Does that mean you find like the arcade background noise distracting?
I do a bit. I mean, sometimes it's so loud and crazy that it all kind of just becomes one ambient sound. But there's a few games like I hate it with is it Sound Voltex when Sound Coaster, whatever. When like I'm playing and then a little kid runs over, hits the button, and then walks away. And while I'm playing, that loud sound starts and the kid walks away. And I just want to chuck my mallet at him.
Well, I mean, like, air hockey is like just one of those very percussive sports where just like, you know, audio input is something that's so immediate and it's such a great form of feedback. And that actually makes me wonder, when you're playing in a larger room, such as like when we have like the tournaments in Houston and stuff like that, the World Air Hockey Championship, if anybody wants to go check that out. Do you find that more distracting than a quiet or like a smaller audience like this? Do you find that kind of percussion of other games going on?
The only thing distracting at Worlds, and this isn't a dig at Worlds or anything, because they got a huge room this year. You had 20 tables, but it doesn't matter how far you have the tables apart. It really doesn't. You can have them literally like, I don't know, I don't want to exaggerate here, but you could have them like 50 feet apart or 40 feet apart, and someone's still going to hit a puck off of their table, and it will fly over and land on your table.
Oh, those things go far.
Or they hit and they roll, and if it rolls under your table, the ref needs a call, because you'll see it. Like, you're playing something, you see this puck roll underneath, and you know 3 people are going to come running up to try to get it.
Yeah.
So the ref has to call a timeout. So there's a lot of that happens, and that's not because of anything that they did wrong.
Just one of those unavoidable issues.
It's unavoidable. I mean, I've seen the puck roll across the entire room before, right? So it doesn't matter how big the room is, unless they got like cubicles for every hockey table.
Oh, that'd be awful, bro.
It would be awful.
So cramped.
Yeah, like cramped.
Yeah, so I think that the house is one of the best places to play it at because it's pretty quiet. We keep the temperature very cold, thanks to right now heating and air conditioning. But we keep it very cold for the players. Everybody else is freezing, but right now I'm like normal temperature because it's like 65 in here or
also
something.
wearing 2 shirts.
I was just gonna like when we went back, I was like, guys, I gotta be right back. I gotta grab a hoodie.
I gotta go warm up. I gotta go step outside in our 102 degree weather
for
a little bit.
It's very hot outside.
It's super hot.
It's hard for me to even imagine it being hot out there because of how cold it is in here. But then I walk out and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna sneak back inside. So, okay, but enough for me, Spec. Awesome job on that set. I knew you were holding stuff back.
What was that?
Okay, that double wall, was that intentional?
Yeah.
Was it really intentional?
I learned it from a very good female friend of mine.
Well,
is she
your
watching
female friend touch it garbage. All your other shots, I was like, good shot. That was good. That shot, I'm like, that is garbage.
You
Even everybody in the crowd
did
was
the
like,
crappy off to your left wall under on me, so I had to pull out my.
That wasn't crappy.
Double wall.
It actually looks like we have another question live from the audience. What can I do?
Yeah.
So now that Spec's here, I got a question for you.
Oh, question
Now
for Spec.
that you know that he's starting to get onto you for your signature moves, how are you starting to combat that transfer?
For anybody who did not hear that question, somebody live in the audience seems to have commented that Nathan is picking up a little bit on what we are considering Spec's signature tricks for this set so far, and how is Spec looking to respond.
I'm obviously not going to tell him right now.
I was gonna say, trade secrets are one of those things you have to be delicate about talking about. All we have to do is
somebody remind us to ask us after the next set.
Okay, Spec, go ahead.
He was kind of right that I was holding it back a little bit of my technique, but I think this third set we're just going to go all out and see what happens,
And we'll get to revealing all of the secrets afterwards.
You have Danny Hines telling all my secrets.
Yeah, well, that's probably for the best. If you get here,
he's a lot better at catching them shots than I am, because I'll blink and I'll miss them. I'm like, what just happened?
I knew that by not having Danny on the headphones right now in this phase was gonna hurt my game a lot, and I'm like, I'm okay with that. I don't get the advice on how to block that dang cut, and I know that everyone else watching this is like, just move right there, but you got a good shot, dude. I think that you're right. This last game is gonna be an all-out brawl. I think that one of the commenters in here just says they remember me saying that I pretty much always play at full intensity. That's pretty dang true. And these games full intensity. So that's the only bummer, is that I can't show up with some extra ridiculous gameplay because I haven't been sandbagging like some jerks do.
I have a really quick question for Nate. Danny was commenting during this last set that you were going back and forth between your really quick hit to really settling it down, taking your time. Are you doing that intentionally, or are you getting, I guess, a little carried away, and then remembering you need to really focus and slow down and take your time?
It's a little bit of both. I love playing a fast game. I love it. I absolutely love it. And if a player is able to play at my level and play that fast with me, I love it. And if they're able to beat me at that intensity level, I love it. It sounds weird, but I absolutely love it. I love playing fast, and so I think a lot of it is intentional, but then I do remember, wait, do I want to win this? A super high-ranked player, Chris Gibson, told me, like, he's such a weird dude. Chris, if you're watching, you know how weird you are. He's like the hippie of air hockey, and so he'll be like, dude, you just gotta like, you know, and you're like, okay, that doesn't help me. Like one time he's like, you gotta be two beasts in one animal. Yeah, two beasts but one animal, and I'm like, that doesn't really help me. But one time he told me, he's like, Nathan, do you want to have fun or do you want to win? And that really got to me. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you're playing all fast, and that's really fun for you, but you're not winning, so you need to slow it down so you can win. So do you want to have fun or do you want to win? And I'm like, well, I play to have fun. That's a lot of it. He's like, but do you want to win? And I'm like, yeah, I guess so. He's like, all right, well then slow it down. You can't play at other people's levels yet. You can't play that fast and have fun and win yet. And it stuck with me, and it kind of hurts, but I want to have fun, but I can't. Like this game with Spec is a ton of fun, but I can't dwell on how much fun it is because then I'm just gonna lose, and then afterwards I'm gonna be bitter.
On the border of
I
a
think
heart attack.
Matt's having a great time. I don't know
When
if
is
you guys
Matt not having a great time?
I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Matt's been rooting on Spec, saying win for the little people.
That's because Matt has like Spec's secret number, so Matt cannot beat me. I'm saying that he cannot beat me. But he can beat Spec, and so he's like, I don't have to beat Nathan. All I have to do is let Spec beat Nathan, then I can beat Spec. And so as soon as, like, literally, I mean, Spec already, I think Matt already said it. He's like, you know, this is a preemptive challenge for Spec when he beats Nathan. So, he's yeah. Look at his emoji he just posted in the chat. No, he actually has beaten me. Even recently, Matt beat me in 2 games in a set that we were playing. So he's doing good, but. Spec's got my secret number.
You're that Belgian bull, you're doing good.
Yeah. Man, that set was so much worse than the one before for me.
It's absolutely crazy, and we are looking forward to getting back to it as soon as we can. This is the last opportunity for anybody in the chat or live in our audience right now to ask any questions. And if anybody is curious on where you can find more, we actually have a couple pieces of social media if you want to share those real quick.
Yeah.
Quick shameless plug.
We got YouTube, which most of you are on right this very second. We also have an Instagram page that we have open, and we've got Josiah's on there. His video now has 2.3 million views.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
On YouTube, it's got like 200 views, and on Instagram, it has 2.3 million.
That's
so it just goes to show the taste that people have on different platforms.
It's a pretty. I laughed.
It was pretty
thought
fun.
It was really good.
It's pretty cute.
And that's Idaho Air Hockey Exerts, right?
No, it's
American Air Hockey.
American Air Hockey League. Yep.
with
Yeah, same
underscores,
with-
I believe, in between.
Or you can just search it up without underscores.
Yeah, there you go.
Same with
Yeah.
Facebook. American Air Hockey League on one word.
All right. Well, now we got the last set. There's only one set left, no matter who wins this.
Shake it off.
Yeah, I know. I have to defend my #1 title in Idaho right now,
Right, well, I
and
am
number
going-
32 in the world.
I am gonna run out to grab a jacket real quick.
Do it, and then we'll set up. And if you guys have any other questions or any comments, throw them in there. Thanks for commenting. That really helps our stream. Thanks for all of our sponsors right now, heating and air conditioning, and Ruth Kamichek, Ruthless Real Estate. Really appreciate you guys for sponsoring us. We have the Idaho State Tournament coming up in September, and we're still looking for a title sponsor. So if anyone wants to be the title sponsor, they can even name the tournament. So it could be like, you know, the Nike Idaho State Tournament. You know, hint towards Nike. They actually shut me down. I called them up, but they were like, "Oh, we don't have people find us. We find you." And I'm like, "I'll remember that."
Be very interesting.
I was like, "I'll remember that," because one of these days if they come knocking on my door, I'm like, "Well, I tried to find you, but you said you'd find me, and now here we are in this awkward conversation."
Oh, you know. Fantastic. Any last questions from chat before we move on?
I'm not seeing any other questions. There's a lot of comments in there.
Fantastic.
All right, see you guys on the table.
All right, fantastic. Thank you guys so much.
All right, both players are now starting to get ready. Again, if you're just joining us, this is the American Air Hockey League. These are the top two current players in Idaho. Nathan Buss, current #1, and #2 in Idaho is Peter Cai. These guys are going to a third and final set. They both traded sets. Nathan winning the first, and Peter winning the second set. Pete definitely has the momentum going into this third and final set. And Nathan, I can guarantee you, is feeling the pressure. But Peter has the demons, I guess you could say. So when I say that, he's got to exercise those demons, right? So he's in a position where he can actually win. But being in position and knowing that you have a chance to win and actually doing it and getting over that hump mentally, two very different things, and it's not easy. So for Spec, he's got to just keep doing what he's been doing. He's got to stick with the program, take his time on offense, build up that possession time, continue hitting the cuts, the cross straights with the occasional bank, varying the releases, and being steady on defense. If he can do that, he can pull this out and be the new #1 player out of Idaho. In addition, take Nathan Buss's number 32nd world ranking. For Nathan, he's got it's actually good experience for Nathan. I mean, it's rare that he, experiences this in his home state of Idaho. Like I said, he's been dominant there for the last 2 years. So this is actually good experience for him as well, to kind of have his, back against the wall and, to kind of fill that adversity. Both players touch mallets for this last set, and they're about to face it off. You got Spec on the right and Nathan on the left.
And Nathan takes first possession.
Yeah. Welcome back, Guy.
Hello. I went and grabbed my jacket. It's kind of... It's like... Oh, I don't even... It's somewhere in the 60s in this house. And yeah, it gets pretty chilly in here when you're not playing.
Well, it probably was that great air conditioning service, one of the titles, one of the sponsors for this, right?
Yep, right now, heating and air conditioning, it's a very... Yeah, no, it gets pretty chilly, so it's a very good... You got some really good air conditioning in here.
Yep, 1-1 now. Spec opened up with a cross straight shot and hit another cross straight now, 2-1. Nathan's got to figure out how to stay home for those straight shots.
Yeah, he's... There's another one.
Yeah, he powered a right wall under.
Here we...
Oh, very nice.
This game is progressing very fast.
Yeah. So that was a strong left wall under hit by Peter. He hasn't really hit many of those left walls at all. So for him to do that, it's pretty important just to kind of give Nathan something else to look at. So that was pretty masterfully done by Spec. But now he's got to... because I guarantee you, Nathan's going to pull out all the tricks out of his bag.
Yep, he's.
So tried a little right wall over there.
No, there's no way he's messing around this game or this set.
Went right back to it. Yeah. So now 4-3, Nathan.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. Spec said I can hit those two and hit a right wall over of his own. Tied it at 4.
Watch this. Oh. Yeah. No, I don't think if. We were talking about it on the couch, but Spec was holding out a little bit, and get a little shake in there. Spec was holding out a little bit, and then that second set comes around, and
lost him out there by Nathan.
Lose him out.
So, I hear that, but I guarantee you that Spec wasn't trying to give a 1-0 lead for Nathan. To try to battle back, especially on somebody that you've never beaten, on a stage like this. So, nice forehand transition straight that Spec just hit to tie it at 5.
Yep.
Huge point right here.
I'll say these. Probably honestly, the next minute or two of this game is gonna be very important. At the pace they're going, but they're probably gonna slow it way down now that we're this close, or not.
Yeah, Spec really should have stayed with the straights right there. Let's see if Nathan can. Yeah. Kind of trying like a push type cross straight. Spec's pretty much there. I think the lack of movement from side to side, that worked there. The cut straight. For Nathan to go up game point 5. Cross straight now. Spec tied 6 apiece.
The grunt. I'm sorry. It was like you can hear them all grunting, and that was.
Nathan with a possession.
Oh,
Great
Spec.
interference by Spec to maintain that position. Goes for the cross straight. He wins 1-0 now. 7-6. Spec, beautiful shot.
Woo!
Well executed. You see how he waits there just long, and look how far back Nathan's defense is. If you see that, he's over the middle of the goal, and he's almost like already against the back of the goal, and you're not going to defend any straight shot like that. And Nathan's got to realize that's a big flaw in his defense, and he's got to develop that discipline. He'll get there. He'll get there. Like I said, this is probably some of the best thing that can happen to him is to experience this, in his home state. You get another player that develops a game like Spec is starting to develop.
Yeah.
That'll make Nathan get that much better, and everybody there. But yeah, so Spec takes the first game. He is now leading 1-0. This last set, this third and final set, it's the best of 7. So the first player to win 4 games, and Spec is already 25% there.
Yeah, he's really, yeah. Like I said earlier, I doubt we were messing around before, but if they were messing around before, we definitely are not now. This is a very big game for these two, for Idaho. This is because we're about to have our state tournament coming up here soon, September. Sometime in early September, we're about to have our state tournament. So so who knows? Spec could have that number 1 in Idaho for or till September. So what is that? Another 2-3 weeks? About. Ooh.
Yep.
That one just kind of slid right in.
Nice cross straight by Nathan there to open up game 2. And Spec said, I hit those 2.
It's
so it's now tied 1 apiece. I like the fact Spec went right back to it.
Oh, Jessica telling us in the chat. So our state tournament is September 9th. And if I am correct, you are able to sign up on our Facebook. In the featured section, there should be a link to sign up for that. And then and on Instagram, and then there are QR codes in Jeremy's. There's at least one on the screen or on the TV in the arcade out here. So
I think, Kai, if you correct me if I'm wrong, that state tournament's kind of like a league type format. It's a bit of a marathon. Is that correct?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. Well, I think it's kind of like where players from week to week play each other, and it's like a couple months process, if I'm not mistaken. That's how it was last year, and I think y'all did a really good job with it.
So I was not able to attend last year's state tournament, but I do plan on attending this year's. So I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not entirely sure how it's gonna work this year. It was,
it looks like Jessica just confirmed it's a league format. Like about 11 weeks.
11 weeks,
That's pretty awesome. It's a bit of a marathon, which, some of the best sports are about marathons, right? I mean, baseball is like 162 games in the regular season, and they play another month and a half, in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, oh, wow, man. 4-1 now from Spec. He might be feeling it, He's feeling, the little bit of confidence here, and that makes a big difference. I think Nathan really's got to, settle things down and just be a little bit more on the attack, and he's got to just find that steady defense. But it looks like he's kind of just guessing a lot and trying to keep Spec off balance. And that only works a little bit. Nice cross straight there by Nathan. He's definitely feeling it. He's definitely putting out the effort right now. I can assure you that. Nice cut straight.
I think
5-2.
Or Nate's. I can't tell if he's just super focused or if he's getting a little frustrated with himself with Spec here with the game.
If I
but
had to guess, probably a little both.
a little bit of both,
so
yeah.
Nice cross straight there by Nathan. So what he's doing there is he's trying to give the appearance that, you know what, you're not going to hit these straights, but there's a great example that it's not closed off. He's way out there, but look where's his arm go? Yeah, 7-3 now. Game 2, Spec is off to a very, very strong start to this third and final set. Kind of charged and made that score on Nathan. But if you go back and you watch Nathan's defense, he's gotten away with it for a long time in Idaho. And these are things that get exploited whenever he goes to a Worlds tournament. But it's that lack of discipline that and the problem is when you have those kind of fundamentals that don't really develop, you set yourself back long term. You don't realize it because you have that success early on. You feel like I'm playing good. I'm beating a lot of players. But what you don't realize is that you're creating a lot of bad habits, and then whenever you have players that actually are setting it up and actually developing a good solid straight attack, now all of a sudden that defense gets exploited.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's kind of happening to Nathan right now. Nathan's really got to just take a step back, and just realize, okay, you know what I'm doing defensively is not correct, right? So I've got to just like erase everything and go back to the basics. And regardless of how much success I've had, I've got to literally just, remember to be disciplined. Go back to the fundamentals.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let these straight shots go in. I'm going to stay out for them. And if somebody banks around me, I'm going to deal with it for a while and eventually catch up to it. And then, like I said, the next thing you know, they can't score straight to save their life. And now they're struggling to hit banks because I'm blocking just about everything.
Yeah.
I think that is what Nathan needs to do. It's funny that Nathan, he's getting a lot of different lessons from a lot of different players.
Mm-hmm.
He referenced Chris Gibson. I thought was hilarious during the break.
Uh-huh.
Gibson was talking to him about playing slow, and
Yep.
I can't tell you how many times that I've gotten on to Chris Gibson because he struggles playing slow himself. So it's kind of funny and ironic.
Well, I mean,
that's the advice that Gibson was giving, which is great. I love it.
Yeah.
But yes, so Nathan, again, he can still win this match. He's explosive enough, but he's got a buzzsaw to tame right now in Spec, because Spec he's got all the confidence in the world. He knows this attack is working. He knows he has Nathan's defense where he wants it. It's just a matter of getting those possessions and just maintaining that for Spec.
Mm-hmm.
So for Nathan, he's got to, again, develop a more consistent attack offensively, where he's putting it kind of in the same position where he opens up a lane.
Yeah.
Wherever he decides it to be. So if it's right of center, left of center, force Spec to move his defense and then work off that and hit all multiple shots, all looking the same out of that same spot, but keep going back to it. So you keep putting the pressure on Spec's defense, because that's really what Spec has been doing to Nathan. He's been going just left of center over and over and over and over and over. That's where all of his offense has pretty much been.
Uh-huh. Yeah, no, I just lost what I was going to say.
Okay. So, again, face off there. Nathan ended up with a right back to the cross straight. Not liking the body language I'm seeing from Nathan. He's shaking his head after that shot. I think he's feeling the frustration. That, if you've been playing long enough, everybody knows that feeling, right? It's not fun. And it's certainly a sight that not many have seen for a long period of time in Idaho. At least playing other Idaho, players. Now it's tied 1-1 with a good touch straight there from Nathan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of us. I would say there's a decent group of us that have been playing, since a little while after Nathan moved here. So we've all we've all been playing each other for years, and we all know each other. But like, I mean, like you were saying earlier, Nathan's learning new things from different players all the time. But the thing is most of the time he'll come back to us and be like, guys, I learned this. Check this out. Watch this. Like I was playing this guy, or and he teaches us these moves.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's the thing with Nathan is I think sometimes he forgets that he is competing. Like he was talking about on the couch. He likes to have fun. He wants to have fun. But sometimes so
kind of elaborate a little bit what you're saying, because I've been there, where I'm competing with somebody, but I've actually done it in a world championships where I see the error that somebody's making like right away, and I know they could so play better than this. And I've actually gone over and like given advice in the middle of a freaking match to my opponent, and I just can't help myself. And the reason that you do that is because you don't want to play somebody when they're not their best, or a true competitor, at least in my opinion, right?
Yeah.
So I want somebody. I don't want to beat somebody because I just happen to know more than they do. I want to beat somebody because they know everything I know, and I'm still able to take them out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
and to me, that's like the best, right? When both players can play at a high level.
Yeah.
And you can still win.
Yeah, because a game isn't fun if you're getting your butt handed to you, and it's not fun when you're handing somebody's butt to them. Because a part of the fun is the challenge. We were talking about this earlier. Part of the fun is is a challenge.
Yeah, good right ball under there by Nathan.
Mm-hmm. Nathan's really taken this game back.
Yeah.
Set.
I think he's playing a little bit more controlled right now. I think he's trying to take a little bit more time on each possession. I think he's harping on the banks a lot more so, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
So he's up 5-2. It's a pretty commanding lead, and I think he needs to just keep this up, and eventually that momentum can completely shift in his favor. Again,
here we are at game point. So yeah, he's Spike's gonna come back. And there we go.
Yep. And that game is over. Nathan said, "You know what, Spec? I'm pretty damn good too." And he won that game. Got behind Spec's defense where he could get set. It is now 2-1 Spec. But you know what? This is not over. This again is the best of 7 in this last set, the third and final set. Nathan does need to win 3 games, but Spec needs to win just 2. But like I said, this match is far from over. Based on what Nathan just showed us this last game, he is determined to not give up, and he's going to fight. You can tell. I mean, his demeanor. He's going to bring it and leave it on the table, and that's all you can ask for from any champion on any level.
100%. So yeah, no, this is definitely going to be an exciting couple of games. These next few, because I would say if I do my math right, we have at the most 3 games left.
Not necessarily. I mean, I mean there could be 5 games still, right? So
yeah.
I'm sorry, it would be not 5, 4 games left because they've played 3, so it can go 7 total.
Oh, yep.
But so there's still 4 possible games, but who knows?
Yeah, no, we could be.
It could be as short as 2 games, or it could be 4. It could be 3 games. So
yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But I mean, I'm excited to find out.
Yeah, so I think this can work in 1 or 2 ways for Spec, right? So he just kind of got blasted that last game, 7-2, I believe. He can either just kind of, I need to get right back to focused, being focused and doing what I need to do, with the discipline, and play strong defensively and be very disciplined on my offense and keep attacking with those straight shots. Or, he could just, realize that, what, this guy's pretty dang good and, kind of get in his own head a little bit and think that he needs to do more than he needs to.
Yeah.
Nice cross straight there.
All right, so I'm looking at our poll here for who will win, and Spec here has 71% and Nathan has 29%. So people are really voting for Spec right now.
You probably should have 2 polls, like who do you think will win and who do y'all want to win? So I think everybody wants Spec to win just because how a lot of people want Colin to lose, because Colin's been winning for so long, right? I mean, even longer than Nate's even been playing. In fact, so many people in the sport don't know any other world champion except Colin because he's been winning for so many years now.
Oh, yeah. No, well, when I first started, it was, like, oh, Colin Cummings, #1 in the world, and, like, it's
still
it's
Colin
been,
Cummings,
yeah.
#1 in the world.
And, like, he's a big name to, a lot of us. But,
of course he is, yeah.
Like,
I
for,
remember,
like,
I remember
world.
Colin when he couldn't reach the side of the table, though, so he couldn't reach the center line. I remember him when he was a little peep squeak or whatever. But, yep. All right, let's see here. 3-1 now, Spec.
3-1. So
Nathan really needs to find, some consistent offense.
Yeah.
Again, he's kind of going to a different kind of drift, a different kind of attack. He's got to realize, and I know I've had conversations with him in the past. I mean, sometimes you can be too diversified offensively, which leads to being readable. So, in other words, like, hey, I'm going to show you this drift, I'm going to show you this kind of release, and and I rush to do it, and I do those few shots from that section, then I go and I change it all up to show a different release, a different shot, because maybe I get this really good shot from this particular kind of release or drift. Yep, another cross straight there. Now 4-1 from Spec here, commanding
really,
lead in this game, this 4th game.
Yeah, I think that last one scared him. He's Fluffy Dragon Slayer says, dude, that puck has been getting so much air. Yeah, so I could be entirely wrong. We have a puck somewhere in the house that's supposed to be like an anti-fly puck. It's not supposed to leave the table. And I don't think it's this one, considering the nature of the game. But like, we have pucks go flying all the time. Like, pucks, they go flying, they get damaged, all that. So it's, like, it's none of us are strangers to a flying puck. It happens. And luckily for where we're at, we can't lose it. Well, we can, but we don't often lose it. Like, when we're at the arcade, we lose it all the time. Or break them.
Good shot there by Spec to kind of get that momentum back a little bit. 5-3 now. As Nathan's been kind of battling back. See if he can get it to a 1-point game here again. He does with a left wall under. Nicely done. Got under the defense of Spec.
Yes.
Spec tried a left wall of his own. Nathan did a good job. Transition, got it back to possession. Again, he's rushed that just a little bit. Almost had Spec out of position. Spec goes right back to the cut straight to give himself game point 4.
Yep, if I was Nathan, I'd be sweating right now. I'm sure he is anyway.
Game point 5 now after the cut straight from Nathan.
I say Spec could end. I would say Spec could end this game right here. He can just really focus in.
Yeah.
Come on. I know he's got it. There it is.
Take the game,
all right.
7-5. He is 3 games to 1 now. A possible match game for Spec coming up. Huge moment for air hockey. The body language from Nathan there after that point goes in, after that shot was made by Spec, says it all. He's battling. It's just been a bit of an enigma that Nathan has not been able to figure out. he realizes that, you know what, yes, I have this flaw in my defense, and it's just not getting fixed right now at this moment. And that doesn't mean it can't get fixed. It doesn't mean that Nathan, can't regain this number one seed or number one rank in Idaho tomorrow even. But at the moment, it's definitely looking in the favor of Spec. He's playing really good. He's playing smart. He's pounding the straight shots, which if somebody can hit straight after straight after straight on a defense, it doesn't matter how good that person is. It doesn't matter on offense, or it doesn't matter how quick they are, or anything along those lines. You're gonna put yourself in a position to win the match. It's the easiest, quickest shot to hit in air hockey. It's the shortest distance between 2 points, the straight line.
Yeah.
You can hit a straight shot just as fast as you can hit a bank, if not faster. So, again, like I said, it's a huge deal. But this could be a really strong moment for Nathan. In all reality, I mean, it's really about perspective, right? Yeah, sure, he can be down on himself. He's down 3-1, but if he just focuses on each and every possession, he can make an epic comeback this set.
Yeah.
Not that anybody in Idaho wants to see that, but he could do it. And it's just taking care of each possession. It's kind of just finding yourself offensively where you're setting things up just, more consistently. So, I'm going to go to the same location. I'm going to go to, the same kind of zone, the same kind of releases, and show different shots out of those releases.
Yeah. So,
all right, here we go. The face off.
So I have Matt here back in the chat. It was an earlier comment, but he says Spec has the tools and the talent to get it done today, so I really believe he will get it done today, no matter who I want to win. And I'm fully on board with Matt there. I would like Spec to win just to, mix up our rankings a little bit. Because Nathan's been on top for so long. And he deserves it. He truly does. But, Spec's been working really hard for this. And he's so close. He's currently 7 points away from being, from going up a lot. But Nathan has the tools to stop him. It's just, it's all a matter of using the right tool where you need it. You're not gonna, I'm pretty sure I made this analogy before on here, but you're not gonna use a flathead screwdriver for a Phillips head screw. So, so he just really, we got another flying puck. So they just really need to know, watch what, if they need to see where their opponent's defending. See if they can, I guess predict where they're going to be, where they think they're going to block next.
I can protest against your analogy.
Yeah, so again, like
all right, I'll swap that. Use a Phillips head screwdriver on a flathead screw. My bad.
That's okay.
He's correct, but
we got it.
Yeah, you also broke a puck, so.
All right. So Nathan's up 2-0 in this game. I'm not liking the first few possessions that Spec had. I think again, the moment maybe getting to him just a little bit where he's losing that focus. He's playing a little fast, like right there. Not doing the things he was doing to get him to this point so far this game, and that's exactly what Nathan needs. So you kind of went back to it there, but you saw what Nathan did right there. He didn't move. That's it. You just don't move. And let him hit it in your mouth. Yeah.
So that's why I like watching these games. Is before, I truly believe Nate would have charged that. He would have tried blocking right there up against the line, which probably would have left him wide open, but he didn't. And he's learning he's learning as we're going, which I think is one of the most interesting things about watching air hockey. Is a lot of the time, people learn halfway through the game.
All right. So let's see if Nathan can kind of continue,
Yes,
this
he
attack
can.
here. He's
So
now
far.
3-1 after getting the right bank by the defense of Spec. Unforced error by Spec. Can't do that.
Nope.
All Nathan needs is a little bit of an opening,
Mm-hmm.
and he'll get into that mode.
Yeah. I think Specs hit a moment here where he's, we all get that feeling where we're almost done with something, like a drive or a long project, and we just really want to get it over with. We're almost there, we put 100% of our effort into 99% of it, but that 1% can be could be, the undoing of what you're doing. And I think that's what's happening with Spec here is he's run out of juice. But he's got to...
5.
Yeah, it's entirely possible that Spec can come back from this, and I'm really rooting for him. But see, there we go.
Over there by Spec. Yeah. Good block there on the cut straight.
Yes.
By Spec again. Let's see if he can set it up and take his time. That was better.
Mm-hmm.
Good defense there by Nathan.
Yeah.
Like what I saw there. And went right back to kind of that early cross straight. Got by the defense again of Spec. Gives himself game point 3.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he just barely, he was moving his mallet around that. Oh.
Yeah. And unnecessary for Nathan to do what he just did there defensively. He's pulling back and all over the place, and then just kind of plays that matador defense. And
yeah.
You might as well say Olay and let it go through.
Mm-hmm. That was a great block from Spec right there. But then he unfortunately lost possession. Oh!
Nice little hustle point there. Transition almost from Spec. It's now game point 5. Spec's battled his way back.
I think... Oh, there it is.
Forehand, left wall over by Nathan. That's a gutsy shot. Very difficult shot to hit, and he nailed it. Very, very well hit. It got by the defense, fooled him. And we are now going to a game 6. It is 3-2 Spec. Spec is 1 game away from taking the number 1 Idaho State rank from Nathan Buss, and also the number 32 world rank from Nathan Buss. So a lot on the line here.
I was gonna say, we got Nathan's got a lot at stake here.
Absolutely. So, it's big moments. I think for Spec, he's got to go back to what got him here. There were glimpses of that last game, but for the most part, he kind of went away from that attack that got him here, opening a door for a very determined Nathan, and that's all it takes. I'm just telling you. I mean, if he leaves that door open long enough, Nathan is perfectly capable of coming back. Which he's 1 game away from pushing a game 7, and anything can happen in a game 7. Anything.
Yeah, we're... Whew. I'm kind of hoping it goes into a game 7.
For the suspense.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about. We love game 7s in air hockey. I can't tell you how many World Championship game 7s there were. It was unreal. It's almost like it's scripted, but I assure you it's not. But there's just something special about that moment. And, I've been in a lot of them myself, and I've been in ones that have gone, it could have gone either way, and both players are playing great. I've been blown out in the game 7, and I've blown people out in the game 7. So it just, anything can happen. There's no way of knowing what the heck's going to happen in the game 7. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Nathan has got to do everything he can to fight to get there. Spec has got to overcome this kind of mental hump, of like actually getting it done, and that's what he's at.
All right.
Face off.
Nathan starts out with possession.
Yep, use the French
game
open
number
there
6. This is potentially the last game. If not, we will go into a game 7, and that will decide our winner today. Oh, and Nathan with our first shot.
Nathan to open up this game, 1-0, Nathan. Yeah, that cross straight was there. He just missed it.
Oh. Ooh.
There it is. The right wall under. The reason that worked was the release. Beautiful release there by Spec. He held it and then just went right by the defense. 1-1 now.
Ooh.
Another right wall under to take a 2-1 lead.
Oh, and
now,
Nate ties it right back up.
Great. Nice cut straight by Spec to take a 3-2 lead.
Oh.
Kind of rushed down a little bit there, but Nathan ends up with the possession.
Ooh.
Nice cut straight to tie it 3-3.
This is getting exciting. I love this game.
Nathan with good discipline there. Ends up with the puck. Let's see if he can continue with his attack here and go back to that cut straight. Again, setting up those condition responses, trying to. Now a good hard right wall under to take a 4-3 lead.
This is... I'm nervous.
Great block by Nathan. Nathan's got to win this game to push a game 7. He's up 5-3.
All right, so a little update on our poll here. We are at 60% for Spec here and 40 for Nathan. So they're evening out that poll.
Nathan with possession.
Yes.
Got to make good, crisp shots.
Yeah, really. Oh.
Yep.
One in and sailed right back out.
Possession back. Got to retain that possession.
Yes. I think Nathan's getting a wee bit frustrated, which is very fair. That when it takes a U-turn in the goal, that gets very frustrating.
He's also fighting for first in state.
Yeah, that's true.
It's there by Spec, but he couldn't get those to sink. Nathan was playing pretty sound defense there, and Oh no! Huge unforced error there by Nathan. It's now tied 5-5. See if Nathan can pull this out.
All right. Oh, all right.
Game point 5 by Nathan. Close. Hit that cross. Couldn't quite get it to sink. Got to hold on to that possession.
Yep. Oh, and he loses it.
Yeah. After the block by Nathan, Nathan's trying to finish this game to force a game 7. Calls timeout. All right. Big moment coming up right here for Nathan. He's trying to hold on to number 1 in Idaho, number 32 in the world. He is up 6-5 this game, but he needs this game just to push to a game 7. If Beck can defend here and score the next 2 points, he will be the new number 1 Idahoan. Is that how you say that, by the way?
Idahoan.
Idahoan, sorry.
No. I had to think about it. I was like, that doesn't sound quite right, but I could.
Right wall over from Nathan to win and force a game 7. That was huge. Look at this right wall.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going into our set game. So whoever wins this game wins the set. Woo! This is so nerve-wracking.
This is what it's all about. I mean, these guys, they play a little bit of a marathon here just to get to this one game. The winner takes all, basically. So, whoever wins this next game is going to be the next #1 player in Idaho. We're going to see if Nathan can retain that rank, or if Pete becomes the next #1 player in the state and takes his number 32 world ranking.
We'll see. Cannot wait for this outcome.
Nathan was down 3 games to 1 in this third set, but he has battled back. And Spec, is at times he's rushed it a little bit, gotten away from his program just a little bit, and that just opened the door just enough for Nathan to, kind of get that momentum back. But he's definitely got the momentum right now, winning the last 2 games.
Yeah.
But this is game 7. Anything can happen. This is what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. All right. Looks like we're about ready to go.
Let's get this game started.
All right.
All right.
So it looks like Nathan will be on the left side of the table. Spec will be on the right side. And this is for the match right here. We'll see if Spec can get back to his program that Nathan has struggled with so much with those cut straights and the cross straights and just throwing the occasional bank in. Or we'll see if Nathan can just pull out a little bit more magic that he's just been so well known for, in Idaho, and retain that rank. Either way, this is a win for Idaho in my books.
Yep.
Because number one, your #1 player has been pushed, right? Either way, whether he overcomes this and can retain his #1 rank, or whether he actually loses, it's a win for Idaho, because this is going to elevate both these players. The next time they both play, they're both going to have this experience under their belts. They're both going to be that much better for it.
Yeah, I would say no, I totally agree. If anything, it shows that our #1 Nathan can be, he can be touched, he can be pushed. He's there. He's attainable.
It still shows he's a force to
Absolutely,
be
yeah.
reckoned with.
He can be beaten.
Yep. And then, as Anthony just said, he's a force to be reckoned with either way.
All right.
So
Nathan wins the first face-off here, or the face-off.
Ooh. I thought that went in for a second.
That goes right back to the cut straight. Nathan was there.
Oh. This is oh.
There.
Ooh.
By Spec again. Now, so that drift there, he didn't put that just left of center. It was more in the middle. Good block there, almost a good get, but Nathan retains that possession.
Ooh.
Good block there, right wall over attempt by Nathan. Good block there by Nathan. He's again showing good discipline there.
Yes.
That's a good sign for Nathan and his defense right there. This is how you defend the straights.
Yes, 100%. I think. Oh.
There's the right wall bank that wasn't over the mallet, that went under and behind the defense, because again, Nathan, I think, has finally just said, you know what, I'm not letting those straights go in no matter what. So Spec has got to see that.
Yeah.
And he's got to take advantage of it.
Ooh.
Up 1-1
Nathan
now.
catching
After
back up real
straight.
quick.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh. Spec taking the lead again. 2-1.
2-1.
Oh.
Great block by Spec. Going again for that cut straight.
Again.
Yeah, I got a good piece of it. Puck went flying.
And we're back going. We're back in it. Oh.
Cool by Nathan to get that possession. He got just enough of it to keep that shot from scoring. Good block there by Spec. Good release on the right wall bank. Got under the
That
defense once again of Nathan.
Yeah, well, I mean, like you were saying just a minute ago, he's really not letting those straights through, but that also leaves him open for those really strong right wall unders.
Yeah.
You know, that, like...
That's all true, and that is the case, but, you know, just for people to understand out there, that doesn't mean that you sell out for those banks,
Yes.
right, to take those away.
Yes.
It means you develop your defense where you can take it away, but it's hard to just do that on the fly, right? Where
Yeah.
you just automatically, you know, fix that. It's really difficult to do that. It takes a lot of time. And there's the cross straight now, 4-1, commanding lead in the game 7 here. This is for number 1 in Idaho, right here, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
think
Yes.
Specs in Nathan's head.
Yeah, I think... Oh my
Ooh.
gosh. That's
Well,
what, third
unforced
time
error
this game?
by Nathan. Lost possession there, a little frustration there. Let's see if he can take
Ooh.
advantage of this. He does not. Yeah, so the drift there, probably a little too fast, kind of like a, you know, he's probably a little frustrated after that last possession he had.
Definitely.
He's got to get control of that. And that shot was there, but
Oh.
great get there by
Oh,
Nathan, and a
and-
good transition right wall
Yes,
over.
that was...
Now 4-2.
Oh.
Right wall over to go 5-2 by Speck.
Right.
Nathan with the puck.
Gosh, I'm gonna have to turn
Going
the
back
mics
to the
down.
cut straight.
Oh.
Slip up.
That... I think...
Try to left wall bank. Very difficult shot to hit. Try the right
Yes.
wall over. Speck was there. Block it. Then going for the early cross again. Speck was there.
Ooh.
Looked like he wanted to do a cut, but he didn't really quite. A little indecisive. Better shot there, but Nathan was there to block it.
We are getting...
Good block by Speck.
I was to say the speed is slowed down, but the intensity... Oh!
Yeah.
Oh!
Match
Set point.
Oh.
Set point 2.
Set
Speck.
point... Set point 3.
Match point 3.
Oh,
After
this
the
is
cut return.
very
This could be
important.
it.
Yes, this could be it.
Oh goodness, Nathan sold out with a charge and got away with one.
Number 1 might fall.
This could be it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh,
Set point
Cut
4.
straight again. Match point 4.
Nathan is not letting it. Nathan not going down without a fight. Oh,
Setting up, trying to hit the cut straight.
oh,
Try to left wall bank.
oh. Yeah, no, Nathan is not going down without a fight. Oh,
Another hard right wall bank. It's now game point or match point 5. See if Speck can finish him off. Try to bank and a great get by Nathan. Oh, he rushed it.
oh.
The pressure
Give
on
Speck
Spec
another
right
shot.
now
Yeah.
is crazy.
Good block there by Nathan.
The pressure on
Still match
both of
point
them.
5. Nathan's trying to tie this at match point either way.
Yeah.
That would make it interesting.
Yes. 7 to 6.
Block. Nope, he was
That
out.
goes to
for it.
Nate.
I was gonna say, oh, if
Hard
Nate
to
can
say
make
if
this,
if he stopped moving or if he wasn't charged. I guess they're gonna say he stopped moving. So that puck, I guess, gonna go to Nathan.
yeah, I don't.
Oh, that shot! Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh,
Not
I'm
sure.
so,
Good get.
I'm shaking, guys. I'm shaking.
Try to right wall over there.
Oh my
Hit it. Now
god.
it's match
my
point
gosh.
either way.
Set
It's
point,
right
set
wall over
point.
by Nathan. Oh my goodness! Nathan
All
held
right,
on
we
to
are
the
at-
puck. He's got possession with a chance
We're
to
at
win the
match
match.
point either way.
Timeout.
What a good timeout call, too.
Oh my gosh. We are at match point either way.
pressure.
Whoever gets the next point either
Oh
keeps
my
their ranks.
goodness.
Either Nate will keep
Match
his
point
rank,
either way.
or Spec will take Nate's rank. So we are down to our last point of the
crazy.
match.
I'm nervous.
The pressure is on.
All right.
Hearts are beating.
Hands are
Breath is shaky.
Nathan with
Yeah, hands are
possession
breaking.
here. Match point either way. The next point wins this match here. Try to hit an off goal there.
Specken is a very scary situation right now.
But straight attempt. Let's see if he goes. I think he's trying to set up maybe a right wall over. He did. Spec was there to block it. Cross straight match. 7 to 6.
We got number 1 in Idaho.
That's it. We have a new number 1 in Idaho.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
You can see Nate. He's like,
Second
yep,
time.
that's good shot, man. Oh,
I don't know if Nate's happy or mad.
I couldn't tell you.
Wow, great match, guys. That was phenomenal. Hard fought. I expected nothing less. I even said it when Spec was up 3-1. I wouldn't be surprised if Nathan came back and made this a match, and if not even win it. He had an opportunity. He had match point in possession. But you know what? Spec rose to the occasion and ended up winning the match. So congratulations to both players, and especially to Peter Cai.
God, that was a close match.
That was
6-6, set point either way.
Yep, 6-6 match point either way. So,
all right.
I know that you're gonna go talk to those guys, Kai, but just tell Nathan, great fight. Tell him keep his head up. He's got nothing to be down about, but everything to look up about.
Yo. All right. Well, I'm gonna head out there. So if I don't talk to you again, I hope you have a wonderful night.
All right. You take care.
All right.
All right, while they transition over to the couch, again, what y'all just watched, the battle for number 1 in Idaho in air hockey. This is American Air Hockey League. These guys battled it out a best of 3 sets, each set best of 7 games. It went down to the final point either way, where the former number 2 is now the number 1, Peter Cai. He has taken not just number 1 in Idaho, but now number 32 in the world.
If he's late to the interview, he forfeits the match.
There. And
all right, so while we're waiting on Spec, how are you feeling?
Tired.
But we got Kai
Pretty upset.
going to talk
Pretty
with
defeated.
Nathan Bust
You know.
on the couch now.
I mean,
It's 2 shots, so to lose to 2 shots, I feel pretty defeated. And no matter how I felt I planted myself, I couldn't block 2 shots, so he won because of 2 shots. And that's really frustrating because it's the same shots I lost at Worlds. So I'm glad that I'm getting all the practice. Like, I'm really excited about the game. It was a blast of a game to play. I'm very irritated at myself.
It was a blast of a game to watch. Me and Anthony were. I was trying really hard not to scream.
You should have.
And then I don't remember who called the timeout at that match point either way, but it was.
Yeah. If I learn how to block those shots, I'm coming back for him. I mean, it's that simple.
And I would say you can
Matt's gonna be. I can see Matt's challenging him. Why isn't Matt challenging me? You wonder.
Yeah,
So,
what's that
come
about?
after me, Matt. And so I'm very excited for him. Like I said, this is a great thing for Idaho. It's a great thing because it's gonna create a vacuum here now, and it's gonna pull people from out of state to come out here. He was rated at 60. Now he just jumped 30 spots ahead. And a lot of people are going to be mad at me in the air hockey world because I'm supposed to be the gatekeeper for that. And I'm not supposed to let people from that high up the bracket come back.
Not supposed to this,
And,
supposed to that. It's
I know. And so he's got me on those 2 shots, and they were fantastic, and I just couldn't block them. And so I'm pretty defeated. I'm pretty upset.
So,
I'm kind of wanting him to sit down here so that way I can walk away,
So,
do the walk of shame.
I would say me and Danny were talking about it. You've been number 1 in Idaho for a long time. You've been untouchable to all of us. You've been number 1 consistently. But, in my opinion and probably other people's opinion, this shows us that you are touchable. We can achieve this.
Yeah.
I've
been waiting for this day for a long time.
Yeah.
The very first day I met Spec, it's actually really funny. So I was going to the arcade almost daily, really hoping for that Mr. Miyagi, the dude that was gonna walk in and he was gonna show me how to play, just some dude that was gonna wreck me. But player after player I played against, I beat them before I even knew it was like a world sport. I just kept beating person after person. Not bragging or anything, it just I had more experience than they did. I owned a table at my house. And then one day Spec comes walking in and he walks over to the table and he puts his headband down. I'm like, oh shoot, he's got a headband. Like, this dude is so serious. He puts gloves on. I'm like, he's got gloves? Like, what's even gonna happen? He's got a towel, and then he puts all of that stuff on, and then he turns around and starts playing. He starts playing a different game, and I was so bummed out because I'm like, this is the guy that's going to be my Mr. Miyagi.
Joe Kane was watching.
And here 2 games later. Oh, thanks, Joe Kane. Thanks for your advice in the thread. Now that the game's over. Yeah, Joe Kane.
Danny.
For a lot of us, you are Mr. Miyagi.
Well, so that was the idea, was that if I couldn't find somebody to train me up, then I just needed to raise up a team, and eventually they would overcome me. And so today's really exciting because it's been over 2 years.
For the first time in a long time, you finally get to start punching up.
Yep, that's exactly it. I'm coming back for him. Awesome. He knows it. If I just block those 2 shots, what do you got? What do you got when those 2 shots are blocked? Yeah.
I still got my right wall loaded.
Yeah, that's blockable though. It's more readable, and I'm very mad.
Man, I wish we could hear Danny right now. Danny, we can't hear you, but you can hear us. If there's any way that you could get in the chat to let us know your feedback too, I would absolutely love to.
You would have to go to YouTube. Well. So he's watching live. But he'd have to go to YouTube and then put the chat in there.
Yeah, but if not, that's okay.
So there's gonna be a lot of people. Last time this happened, when I beat George Anderson, the air hockey community didn't believe it. They were mad it wasn't live streamed. They were mad about a bunch of reasons. They have a really hard time accepting an upset battle. That was an upset. He wasn't supposed to beat me by the stats, right? And so there's going to be a lot of people that are going to say it's not legitimate. That was only 2 sets out of 3. I encourage him just to watch this whole episode. I mean, I fought my hardest and he beat me. Yeah. So if you guys want to fly out here and challenge him, do it. And while you're out here, I'll challenge you too. So,
yeah, nobody can try to tell us that Spec didn't earn something today.
No, he did amazing.
Holy crap, dude.
100%.
I thought it was because the room was cold that I was shaking until I, stepped outside the heat a little bit and I was still.
Yeah, no,
But instead of talking for him, hey Spec, let me tell you something. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Spec, get off the
now
couch.
you listen here.
Nah.
What'd you think of the game, man?
How are you feeling?
You're number 1 now.
I am number 1.
How long?
It's for how long? I don't know.
Until our Idaho State tournament that comes up.
We were talking about it. I was like, if he wins right now, he'll be number 1.
Right now, I'm seated at the first.
Yeah, he just got a better seeding for the Idaho State tournament coming up.
Awesome.
And I get to take my rank back, even if I don't play him in that. So you better play hard out in the tournament. But no, he did really, really well. He played exceptionally well. Besides not letting me get out drink.
Also, thank you to both of you for having that be a 3-3, 6-7.
That was not intentional. I wanted to shut this down in the second set.
There was always a part deep down
I had
the
him
timeout
4
at the
points
6-6
up,
made it even,
and then he came back.
Dude, holy crap.
I would say the timeout of the 6-6 like shivers down my spine.
Every time.
I was so excited. I was so pumped.
I was really expecting Spec to
immediately
after.
Through like the commentary, you can hear like every time one of you scored or like blocked.
Yeah, I mean it was like that in the room too. I mean, there's not a lot of us left. Some of us had to go home, but anybody that was still in the crowd just every time a point was scored.
Yeah, no,
just,
Danny's just like going through like every shot, every block. He's analyzing it. And I'm just.
I know.
Guess what?
You guys see that?
Guess what? I'm better than Sam now.
Sam, if you're watching.
I thought you were going to say something mean, but then you said that.
I'm also better than
and that warmed my heart.
I'm better than Jacob Griffin.
Yeah. So I actually legit cheated against you, Spec. In the first, or in the last set, I lost 2 games. And later, Anthony, thanks for helping.
Hi.
And I decided to listen to the live stream. Jessica asked Danny like what I could do, and I like grabbed an earbud. I took my 2-minute timeout. Oh, Sam's calling us. Tell him we're busy playing air hockey.
Give me the phone. Give me the
Tell
phone.
Sam we're busy playing air hockey. He should try it sometime.
We're answering.
Wait. He's got
Oh my
Sam's
goodness.
calling from the.
So for those that have no idea, we had a number 2 in Idaho for a long time. So we had a number 2 in Idaho for a very long time.
There you go.
And then when I beat him in the grand tournament, hey Sam, when I beat him in the main tournament, he then moved away and promised us, I'm doing this live, Sam, I'm just live. He promised us that he was going to start a scene in Indiana. Sam, what have you got to say to yourself? What have you got to say for yourself?
I'm still practicing.
has never beat me in a challenge match, so we can.
You have never beaten Nathan.
Oh, it's true. I mean, like, are you gonna fly out here and challenge Spec now?
Did he get your world rank?
Yeah, he got 32.
All right, after my trip to Texas, I gotta go out to Idaho, I guess.
All right, man. Hey, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
We weren't sure if you were watching. So.
Dude, no, I've been watching, man. Good game.
It was a good game. All right, man. Hey, thanks for chiming in.
Hey, no problem. Hey, you guys have a good one.
Bye.
What a guy.
That was Sam Self calling in live unexpectedly from Indiana. That's pretty good. We should talk smack about more people. Why didn't Chris Gibson call in?
Chris, if you're watching it. Dude.
Well, now I'm second. Now I have to move away. Isn't that the thing? We lost Jacob and we lost Sam, and you're the only one who stuck with it.
Yeah, then what are we going to do? Where are we going to get all this again?
Yeah. Okay, so we're up for some questions in chat. If anybody has questions, now is a great time.
Yeah,
otherwise, I'm ready to go die somewhere.
No.
Danny told me to keep my head up. It's really hard to watch where he's shooting if I do that, Danny. We got someone saying that was literally the most anticipatory game they've ever seen.
Imagine what it was like for us.
You know, it's funny because I legit gave up on that last game. I was down 3 points. I'm like, whatever, he's got this. And I actually came back to 6. And I'm like, can I actually win this? I might actually gonna win this. And then like I had already lost it in my mind.
I told Danny, you ever get to like that last little bit of something like driving or like an assignment, you're just like, the rest of it's good enough, and you just kind of give up, drop off.
Maybe.
I knew it.
Maybe there's like a weird mental thing there.
There
you know,
is.
like when you're at a certain point, you're like, I need to be doing better. I need to be. You give up, and you're no longer thinking about that. You go, I did better.
And I wanted to shut him down in the second set. I don't know if we have the stats we can pull up, but I wanted to shut him down in the second set, and he just destroyed me. And I mean, pretty heavily too.
Give us another set like that, guys.
Yeah, and I mean, I got him in the first 7-6 game, but in the last 2 7-6s he got me. So that means it was a 50-50 chance at that last 6-6.
Oh, this last
That's
set
pretty fun.
started and then it was
Yeah.
7-6.
Look at that.
Yep, that 1 point matters that much. That 1 point matters that much in a game.
That beautiful golden point.
I'm glad I didn't lose by like a 7-0 or anything like that.
You were about to.
Yeah,
It was gonna be a 7-2, and then you came back.
But he did it.
Oh man. You got Sam saying to make sure that you're ready. We got a lot of people chiming in. It's hard to read this chat because it's moving so quick.
Yeah, thank you for blowing up.
You know, Matt asked a good question. He's asking if you have enough elo to pass me now on the actual elo ratings, because I was substantially higher in the rating list. So where is that going to actually put you? We got Danny saying, you know, to spec continue, you know, no pressure. But the hearts in the way, I can't even read it. That held on to that number 1 rank for more than 2 years. Yeah, it's true. The last guy held on to it for 2 years. So Danny's saying you got to hold on to this rank for 2 years. Which isn't gonna happen. I'm coming back in a few weeks for the Idaho State tournament. I'm coming back hard.
Maybe George will come out here and challenge me.
Oh, yeah. I hope he does. I hope he does.
I think he's actually higher than you.
George Anderson?
Yeah.
No, he did not. He got dropped into a bad bracket.
Oh.
So he's challenged me, sort of, kind of, already for a game, and I love it when it comes out regardless. So awesome job, man. You did very, very good.
You both did really well.
Fantastic.
That was a really fun game.
Making our job easier over here. We don't even have to ask any questions. We're just gonna keep giving each other kudos and challenges all day.
I just want to say thanks to like literally everybody that made this happen. There's a lot of people behind the scenes. You got
and
to
to
see
our
Kenna.
sponsors.
Yeah, we got our awesome sponsors. We got Ruth Kamichek with Ruthless Real Estate. She's just the absolute best, the best realtor ever. She was so very kind to us and my friends and my family. I actually know a lot of people that have bought a house through her. If you guys are thinking about buying a house, give her a call, 208-965-3570 if you're in the Idaho area. She's incredible. She really, really is. Yeah. She's very compassionate. Yeah, very long-time friend. It's a funny story. I probably shouldn't say this live on camera, but it's really funny. So she's a little bit older than I am. And her mother was pregnant with the youngest. So she's one of 3. She's the oldest. And the youngest, her mom was pregnant with the youngest. And at that time, I was 1 year old. And they had me kiss the belly of the pregnant woman, saying that was going to be my future wife.
What?
So we've known them that long, where I was like betrothed to their youngest. And Man, did
That
I
did
try for
not
years.
end up
It did not work out. She's in Moldova. She's a missionary. She's amazing. She's absolutely incredible. I'm playing air hockey. We live a little bit separate lives, but the older sister stayed around. So,
the schedules clash a little bit.
I also want to give a giant thanks to Right Now Heating and Air Conditioning. Those guys are just incredible. I mean, literally, we were playing in 65-degree weather, while outside it was in the hundreds. People are shivering in the house. I was perfectly tempered for that game. Spec and I were probably the only two comfortable people in the entire house because everyone was too cold.
There was never any chance I was ever going to be comfortable with that amount of adrenaline pumping in my veins, dude. Unbelievable.
These guys did amazing. I cannot speak enough for these guys. 208-585-5868. Please give them a call. Hey, would you guys let them know when you call them that the American Air Hockey League sent you? It'd be nice to know that our sponsors are getting some, some feedback from our viewers. I also want to give a giant thank you to Tim for reffing this game. It's not an easy game to ref. Thanks to Spec for making it easier for Tim. There was a lot of calls that we called on ourselves because they were just too fast to see.
Yeah, good sportsmanship from the both of you, honestly. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate you both.
Thanks to Anthony for running the cameras. Thanks to Kai for doing the commentary. Thanks to Danny Hines for taking time out of his busy schedule, even though he's in a different time zone. So it's like way later where he's at. And this game went way later. Yeah, but now it was a long game. We didn't expect it to take this long. Thanks to Mizuki. Thank you for diving in and helping out with these questions. And lastly, thank you to all of you that are watching right now that are making this possible. And I'm sorry I let a lot of you down. I'm coming back though. I'm coming back, bro.
I would say if you read the poll, so when I first pointed out the poll, it was 71 and
71 for me or him?
No, 71 for Spec.
People love the
Oh wow.
And then, and after I pointed it out, it dropped down to 64.
He's got my number.
Oh.
I just need to block that one dang shot. If I can block that one shot.
And thank you again, everybody, for watching, for blowing up our chat, especially at the end. Every time that you guys decide to participate in the chat, it really does help out the channel a whole lot.
Yes.
The more attention that we can get here, the more that this begins to spread, the more people we can start having in the crowd here, the more people that we can start inviting over for challenge matches. The world rank is a really, really big deal. It's very difficult to find yourself in a different state to be playing a sport as small as air hockey. So the bigger that we can make it, the easier it becomes for everybody. And maybe one day it'll become a little bit something bigger. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely stellar.
I can't believe this lasted 3 hours, Spec.
3 hours.
Best 2 out of 3. If we did so normally, they do best 4 out of 7 sets. This would have been a 6-hour game,
I'd
easy.
be on the floor.
Yeah, I'd be like, I quit.
I'd be in the commentary booth just. Well, and there it goes again.
Question for you, Spec.
I'd be in an ambulance, dude. I'd be having a heart
Question
attack.
they say, what does victory taste like?
King crab dip and pretzels.
King crab dip and pretzels.
Tastes like Nathan for the last 2 years.
Do we want to talk about state tournament?
Starts in September. It's a league format, and a lot of people have a hard time understanding what that means. But basically what we did today for a challenge match is basically going to be like that, except for the tournament. Which means that, let's just say this was one of our tournament games, I'd be knocked out and Spec would move on, and that goes on until the bracket is completed. At the very start of the bracket, it'll be 2 games per Monday, because a lot of those games are seeded, which means the very first game is like number 1, Spec, versus number 16, and that might be a blowout game. Generally, that is much of a blowout game. And then the second game would be number 9 versus number 8, which is more close of a game. So we do both of those on a Monday, and then we do the next 2 and the next 2 and the next 2. And then when the bracket starts going to completion, we switch to 1 day for each Monday. Some of the games might be on a separate day, so we can accommodate some other people's schedules. But it's going to be really awesome, so we'll have the whole bracket laid out. What I like about it is that it makes it to where it doesn't all have to be done in just one night with a ton of tables and a ton of refs, and it doesn't take a giant team to do it. We can do it with just one table. It also builds a lot of anticipation. You know your game is coming for a few weeks, and you know who you're against because it's all seeded. So the seed freezes on September 2nd at midnight. And so right now Spec just took a higher seed, right? And so everyone should be challenging like crazy to get a better seed before the tournament starts. But once it starts, that seed freezes, and you already know who you're going to be against at least 1 week in advance if you're the first 2 games. If not, you might know 4 weeks in advance. And you know if you win that game, who you're going to be against if the other person wins their game. So you have weeks between each game to study up on that opponent and learn how they play. And if it's coming in a few weeks, you have time to share it all over social media. let everyone know that your big game is coming up. We found that we have so much higher of a viewer turnout when we space them out like that. The only negative, and it's a big negative, is that it basically discludes anybody from out of state, because they can't just come and play in a day or a weekend. They would have to stay for 3 months. And so it really discludes people, which is not the intention at all. It's just because we don't have the manpower or the amount of tables to set it up. We just went to Worlds, and even at Worlds there were times where all the tables were full and there's so many people waiting to play, and there were 20 tables there in constant play, and those weren't big challenge matches like these. So we're doing the absolute best with what we can do. I apologize to anybody from out of state. It's not intended to keep you from coming. If anybody wants to stay with us for a few months, you got a room up here. George Anderson, I'm surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he snuck into it, because he makes a trip out here, and if he did it every few weeks for a game,
I'd love to see it.
Yeah, it would be awesome having him join it. So, yeah.
Is it single elimination?
It's single elimination. There will be spin-offs to find out everyone's rank, but it's single elimination. So like in this game that just happened, if it wouldn't happen where it's me versus Spec game 1, but if that were to happen, or like game 8 versus 9, whoever wins, the other person's kicked out. So like being in the 8 and 9 seed, you really don't want to be in that spot. You want to, it's basically the way it looks like is 1 versus 16, right? 2 versus 15. So you want to make sure that you're on the top end of the 10s, or on the top end of the lower bracket, but you don't want to be in that there's some spots you really don't want to be in, and so people play the seed a bit. They map out where they want to be before a tournament starts, so they have the best avenue to winning it. So it's kind of a game in itself.
Yeah,
so.
and that being said too, even though it kind of has this unfortunate issue of excluding anybody out of state, if anybody out of state tunes in and watches and has an interest in anybody's their performance on any of these Mondays, we highly encourage anybody to tune in, come over here, challenge us, or anything of the sort. We would love to get more of a variety. Idaho is a very small community, and we would absolutely love people from out of state to come on over here. Maybe not for that tournament, but we'd love to host challenge matches or anything like that here. Every Monday, we do this every Monday, so feel free to tune in.
And props to Spec. It looks like he's just playing on his phone right now, but really he's updating all the stats. He's holding a tablet that has all. Show them what the tablet looks like. Yeah, flip it around.
I've been clicking on all night.
So this is how we run this stream. All those buttons do something on multiple pages, and so he's running it while playing. So he was able to beat me today while still being distracted and helping with the live stream. So, all right, we're not going to take anybody else's time any extra than we need to. So I'd like to thank everybody. Thank you, Spec, for an awesome game. And thank you all for watching. So from all of us here at American Air Hockey League, we'd like to wish you a good night.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.